Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we live in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you could never speak for black folks. Fake ass pandemic, trying to get the black votes. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye, we don't need him. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard, you and I go it's hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk. You ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, and get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me.
I'm talking about Shouty going crazy. People going crazy in these motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing. About a woman on the day. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the pump for the water. Let the devil know me now. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Make them happy because man makes them strong. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Chroma. We are joined with our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankoria, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Join us tomorrow for a brand new episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Greetings, Shabaka, from the Mile High Income City.
Okay, greetings. Yeah, greetings to you all from Sin City. It's starting to get warm out right here, my time of the year. I love it when it gets warm, my most famous time of the year. If I'm singing it right, you know what I'm saying. Also, too, want to give a shout out there to the Outlaws, out of the mill. They were on earlier tonight. I did relate to them, and they said just drop the link to them. And then for us to schedule some time, with those in the Eastern time zone, we would probably have to do it out here, Brother Che, say anywhere between 3 p.m. and 4. Well, for me, between 3 and 4.
Yeah, they're in the Central, Shabaka, so they're 1 hour ahead of me and 2 hours ahead of you.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, you're right. They're in the same time zone as Chicago. Yeah, you're right. I forgot they're north of Chicago. Yeah, when you cross into Indiana, which is all up the south side of Chicago, then that's when you hit the Eastern time zone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
All right. Okay. So therefore, I just want to make a notion here, right here, is that for those of you that deal with Ancestry.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And skip the truth gates. The email is in our chat room.
It's specifically 23andMe, Shabaka. I already know where you're going with this. 23andMe is being sued right now. But I gotta finish the introduction, Shabaka. I was just saying so on this season 4, episode 52, part 3 of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing several topics we didn't get to in part 2. And as the CBC finally admits that Black immigrants only represent 5% of the illegal immigrants. We've been saying that, but now they're saying. Then we got Black attorney falsely claimed that FBAs are just like MAGA. Another reason Democrats lose FBA votes. And then controlling our narrative means controlling our dollars. Breaking news, Charleston White. I put the feds on BRICC, baby, and resurfaced video. Willie D reacts to actor Malik Yoba. What is his name? Yoba?
Yeah, Malik Yoba.
No longer identifying as a black man. Then we got Democrat. Then we got Democrat op says FBAs are illegal immigrants too. The fuck we are. We're not no goddamn immigrants at all. And must protest ICE deportations. No, the fuck we not. And then we got domestic terrorism. Bondi drops the hammer on 3 Tesla Vandals. Firefighter spreads photos of dead black teens. Trevor Moses is another example of black people not being allowed to defend themselves. Punk ass mayor, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston and staff use encryption app to discuss migrant crisis. And our illegal migrant news and our unhoused neighbor news.
All right.
Those are the topics.
So
like and subscribe to Frontline News. All right, continue your thoughts. What you were saying about the 23andMe, Shabaka.
Okay, the who?
The 23andMe. That's the one that's being sued right now.
Okay, for data breaches and what have you.
Yeah.
Good. I hope they sue the shit off of them, man. You see, that's the problem with this AI shit. I'll just let the computer do it. Just let the computer do it. It knows everything. A goddamn computer only knows what the fuck has been programmed. So I ain't no telling how these bastards, man, are going up there hijacking your real estate records, your birth records, man, your financial records and all that. AI is dangerous.
It's only dangerous if we're not controlling it, Shabaka. But I just seen this video that 60 Minutes did about the dangers of AI, and they were talking about how they had Kenyan workers, meaning Kenyans, people from Kenya, in Kenya,
Right.
working on the technology.
Okay. Whose puppet strings are they on? Sounds like the British to me.
Well, they're a former British colony, Shabaka.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, like I said, let me turn down this idiot box. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, people about the background noise. We all working on becoming more professional, and I'm talking to me too. Okay, yeah. All righty. Okay, so what it is, Brother Che, is we have stated, man, on Frontline Black News on Shabaka's Black Experience, man, that this is what I mean by the day of the ass scratcher, the Yassa boss, and the coon is over. Because they're talking about all this all-inclusive ass shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Biggest counterman to our progress. Okay, is because when we had the Black Wall Street, when we had the Rosewood, we were forced to trade with ourselves, right? Yep. And I think even the former heavyweight champion, had stated, well, I got the gold medal here in 1960 Louisville. I can go sit downtown. And what do they tell him in downtown Louisville? It was like the same damn thing they told him in downtown Las Vegas that he smashed a rabbit. We don't serve niggers here. Okay?
Yes, Shabaka.
Now you any other people, because they were sitting there, what they're doing is building up their own shit. But the ass scratching, Yassa bosses, Uncle Sambo's, what have you, you know what I mean? They figure out, well, for us to get ahead is to be all inclusive. Now don't get me wrong. I recognize the fact that our science, technology, and engineering has contributed not only to our history, but prior to when we were brought here, we was pretty much self-sufficient. But when that non-clean, raggedy tooth, 2-year bathing bastard with his funky, nasty, stinking, perverted ass set foot on our continent, that was the beginning of the end. And this
they didn't set foot on the continent initially, Shabaka. They was on the coast. And they had help from those foreign tribes.
Okay, sir. So that's the house Negroes. You see what I'm saying? You see, because you have colonialism and you have neocolonialism. Neocolonialism cannot exist.
Time, it wasn't even neocolonialism. It was just colonialism at that time and tribalism.
Yeah. Well, the European comes from tribes. We come from nations, sir. But a lot of our people are nomadic.
They'll tell you in a heartbeat they're Yoba, Yoruba. They're not African. They're not Nigerian. They're Yoruba.
Sir. Okay, but sir, let's look at Africanus is a Greek word, okay, that we already know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's actually Roman, not Greek, Shabaka, Roman.
Okay.
And he got the name.
Sir, let me put it to you this way.
Was given to Libya, and they applied it to the whole continent.
Okay, but the point is, what I'm saying is that them savages who did not believe in washing their stinking, nasty, funky asses are in no moral position due to their barbarism of saying anybody in regard to us of what we are. We define who the fuck we are, not them. See, we define who we are, regardless of what we call ourselves.
Yep. Exactly, and we're defining ourselves as the foundational Black Americans.
And diasporic Africans. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no diasporic Africa. Okay. There's a country called it. There's a continent and a country called Africa.
Okay, Brother Che, I'm speaking of diaspora as in spread out. Let me make that perfectly clear. Also, too, a footnote right here. You know, I just want to say about Skip the Truth Gates, man, about it. And I don't mean to get off topic, but this is something our people need to know. Okay, oh, Skip the Truth Gates, you lousy, stinking bastard. Okay, I'm concerned about a relative of mine that I have not seen in years. Okay, and he's older than me. So I go up here to Ancestry.com. Oh, well, try out our free trial membership. Okay. You need a card to go with it. You got a 5-day free trial. Okay. So therefore, when it gave me a bunch of bullshit as opposed to what I was looking for, meaning everything other than what I was looking for, I says, man, this is a scam. This is bullshit.
Did you cancel it? Did you cancel your subscription?
Oh, hell yeah, most definitely I did. And then what I'm going to do is that the people who own the charge plate, I'm going to call them up to show it up, do not honor it. You see, and as soon as they tell me that, well, we can't, then I'm going to go strip all the money off the card. Then I'm going to have to get another one to keep the StreamYard up, see? Because I mainly got it to keep the StreamYard up. We need donations, people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm going to get back on topic. So the first topic is CBC admits that Black immigrants only represent 5% of illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I think Uncle Phil is accurate on that.
So we've been saying this, but now the CBC, which is
the Congressional Black Caucus, a bunch of buck dancing ass Uncle Sambo ass motherfuckers. Excuse my language. And Congressional Black Caucus, and if you don't like it, the email address to go to is frederick.d36@yahoo.com. And you can send all your hate mail to there. Oh, and it will be addressed. You congressional black ass buck dancing tricks. You ain't shit. And I hate to be so direct about it, but it seems, Brother Preston, when we try to speak respectful and civilized, you know, we're thinking we're talking to civilized individuals and we're not. So just like they say in these kangaroo courts laws that these ambiguous double-speak statutes have to be explained to you in language that you understand. And I'm speaking of you in a collective. So when they come up there with that bullshit, man, they understand the fuck what we're talking about on that. Fuck around and find out. And they just did.
Yep. So Uncle Phil's going to give us an update on the CBC admitting that Black immigrants only represent 5% of illegal immigrants.
Is been taken over. It's been taken over by people who aren't from this land. They're either people who immigrated here or people who are first generation immigrants. The last leader of the Congressional Black Caucus, he was Caribbean. The current leader of the Congressional Black Caucus, Representative Yvette Clarke, is a first generation Jamaican American.
Get stopped by the goddamn LAPD and they'll tell you what the fuck you are.
To other countries.
Shabaka, they did a whole study on that. I've been trying to save it for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced so you can see it, but they know the difference.
Well, just take a trip to Los Angeles. That's all I'm going to say. Moving right along with Uncle Phil.
Somebody from Los Angeles did a whole study on that because they must have heard you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Who is this individual? And tell me what part of town he lives in.
On my head, but they did a whole study on it. It had came up in my suggestions.
Yeah, well, I did a whole study on it too, you know, for the first 40 years of my life. Yeah.
Well, Shabaka, they had somebody from Nigeria, somebody from Ghana, somebody from South Africa or Zambia, and somewhere else in either the Caribbean or in Africa. And then they had a Black American. And they all got pulled over by the lap dogs. And the lap dogs, look, we could tell that there's a difference between the two of y'all, or the three of y'all, 4 of y'all, whatever. So they know.
Yeah, and all of them were described as male Negroes from Haiti, male Negroes from Birmingham, Alabama,
No, they
male
weren't even
Negroes from Nigeria.
No, they weren't even described as that. They described them completely different. But I'm gonna save it for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, Shabaka, because I gotta pull the video back up again. Because like I said, it showed up in one of my suggestions. But I was like, this is what Shabaka's always talking about.
Hell, I've been pulled over and arrested by the motherfuckers enough. Shit, I know what the hell I'm talking about on that. You know, I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong when it comes to the city of Lost Angels.
Whoever did the video though was basically try to debunk you, Shabaka. So I'm gonna pull it up and we can talk about it tomorrow on Shabaka's Black Experience.
And send the motherfucker whoever did it. Well, I don't mean to call the person that, but send this person who did this, you know, an invite.
Okay. If I can get an email from him, I'll do that. But in the meantime, CBC admits that Black immigrants only represent 5% of illegal immigrants.
They're not rooted here in America. They don't fight for the causes that FBAs would fight for. And because they have a dual allegiance, that is an issue and a problem. And since Yvette Clarke is part of the Congressional Black Caucus, she's been elected to lead the Congressional Black Caucus. I want you to see something that's on their website and try to make you say, okay,
be happy to have you.
We have to have a emergency meeting of the minds, right? So let's check this out. Now, this is on the Congressional Black Caucus website, and it talks about immigration reform. I want you to look at this. Lifting up the voices of Black immigrants. Now, let me start off by saying this. Not every brother and sister that come here from the diaspora are bad people.
Right.
Not every brother and sister in the diaspora don't mean any ill will. A lot of them are in our families. A lot of them are our friends. Some people have dated immigrants. Some people married Black immigrants. And that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that at all. We're talking about how the Congressional Black Caucus is using Black immigrants to funnel in the Democrats' immigration agenda. And we know the majority of the immigrants that's over here is not Black immigrants.
Right.
I'm going to repeat that again. The majority of the immigrants that's here illegally are not Black immigrants.
Right.
But they like to use Black immigrants to anchor in the majority of those who came in from Latin America or other countries. Now, lifting up the voice of Black immigrants, an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants call America home. 575,000 of them are Black. So you mean to tell me that there are only 575,000? That's according to the Congressional Black Caucus. 575,000 of them are Black. So to all the other millions upon millions of people who are out there, the website itself, the Congressional Black Caucus should feel ashamed of themselves because all of the people that's here aren't Black. That is a small number compared to what they keep saying 11 million people. So why should that be a fight? You can't use Black immigrants to bring in all these other people. Hell no. So let's continue. Black immigrants, much like African Americans, are disproportionately targeted by the criminal justice system and often leads to deportation and detention. Consequently, although Black immigrants only represent 5%, only 5%, much or nothing, of the undocumented population in the United States, they represent more than 20% of immigrants facing detention and deportation on the criminal grounds. They're from the institution of slavery to today's institutions, the criminal justice, juvenile justice, and child welfare systems. As the African Americans know all too well the pain of the forced separation of our families. What are you talking about? You can't conflate what we dealt with in this country with someone that chose to come here.
Exactly that part.
Now, I say the tragic, they say history unites African Americans with Black, Latino, and other immigrant families. No, it don't.
We don't.
We do not have the same experience. No, we don't. CBC Immigration Reform Working Group is committed to fixing our broken immigration system by codifying deferred action for childhood arrivals, extending the temporary protected status of countries that continue to face conflicts and disasters, and advocating, for other measures. Okay, so this is what the Congressional Black Caucus says. So when you hear the Congressional Black Caucus talking about immigrants, they're not really focusing all their attention on the black immigrants, because by their own website, they admitted that black immigrants only represent 5% of those who are here illegally. 5%, 575,000. That's a drop in the bucket. So no, you can't use the few black immigrants you have to say CFBAs. Y'all need to support immigration because look what's happened to black immigrants.
No, the hell we don't.
No. You defending all them others. Leave us alone. That's why we say we don't benefit from immigration. It ain't enough black immigrants even in here.
Right.
You have 43 million plus FBAs, and you telling us about 575,000 black immigrants? Really? Come on now. Y'all shouldn't even put that up on their website. Right. Y'all really think y'all was doing something about putting that out? That's not a flex. That actually make us look at y'all even more funny styles to say, oh, this immigration push by the Congressional Black Caucus is all about this these other foreign nationals. Y'all not even promoting. Listen, y'all not even trying to bring in the black immigrants like that. Y'all probably mad because Trump canceled the TPS for Nicaraguans, Cubans, what was the thing, Haitians. And let me tell you something about the Haitians. It's not majority Haitians. It's going to be a small amount of Haitians, but it's not going to be the majority. The majority is going to be coming from Latin America. Bottom line. So you see here the CBC talking about immigration, they're not talking about black immigrants. They'll lie.
They'll lie.
They talking about everybody else. Mm-hmm. And why they do that? Because they paid by the Democrats to do that. That's the Democrat agenda, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Immigration does not benefit FBAs at all. We get no benefit from immigration. Not a one. I don't support things I don't benefit from. Right. It's just that simple. Well, why y'all like that? Why it has to be you have to benefit? Because that's what everybody else do.
Right.
We have to benefit from our country. We need to benefit from, we have to benefit. It's just that simple. We have to benefit.
Right.
So it is what it is, right? And you Democrats are very upset. You very, 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 very upset that we have wised up to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why y'all lost the last election, because we wised up. So, no, immigration does not benefit FBAs, and the CBC has actually helped us even solidify our position, because there's not even many black immigrants that you're fighting for anyway, right? And y'all better go sit down somewhere talking about the immigration, please.
Right. All right, Shabaka, what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, the thoughts on that there, let that story unfold so I can get more data on it to make an intelligent comment.
What do you mean unfold? They literally just said on their website that only 5% of the illegal immigrants are black.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cold part about it is once again, you know, they keep driving this wedge with us, just like how over there in Los Angeles, when they were protesting in there, the Latino community, they're saying, well, how come the black folks ain't out here? You should be out here with us and things of this nature right here. You see, but what had happened was with us, okay, Brother Che, in your generation, you see, they did a lot, you know, to kill our cohesiveness. And they were successful at it. Very successful at it, I hate to say. But however,
more cohesive, I'm confused about it. Because when your generation had ushered in the Pan-Africanism, and y'all thought
that got infiltrated.
That were
Black Panthers got infiltrated.
Exactly. So who is waging where's the wage coming from? Because it's not coming from FBAs. It's not FBAs that's causing the wedge.
The wedge is coming from these Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
You say, you know, so you're right about that in your assessment, you know, about the Democrats. I mean, look at that ass scratcher in New York, Eric Adams. Look at that sack of shit by the name of Brandon Johnston. You see what I mean? Look at Uncle Tom Bradley of Los Angeles. Look at Karen Bass. Mm-hmm. See? All these motherfuckers, man, was concerned about other groups except our own. See? Well, the reason why, we have aggressive policing in the Black community, you guys got the highest rate of crime. Got the highest rate of crime. And I forgot this brother's name, man, who was in, maybe you could help me, Brother Chad, who was in the early 1960s, who stated that in the Black community, you have the highest amount of police, but then it has the highest amount of crime. So surely the cops must be in cahoots with the criminals. I forgot that brother's name.
That was Huey Percy Newman, right? Or Malcolm X?
Negative. It was Malcolm X, man. I'm just fucking with your head, man. You know who it was, Brother Che. It was the X, man. Come on now.
Okay.
And Huey P., who picked up the torch, after the X-Man was gone. Well, hey, we have the right to protect ourselves, in point number 7. And then Dr. Newton had used the U.S. Constitution, as the, what would you call that? Oh, shit, now we need Sarge, who got all these big-ass words. But what was the outline for the 10-point program? And then when they did the free breakfast program, it was open to all the children. You see what I mean? It was open to all the children. You see what I mean? And then, however, they did embrace a Marxist doctrine. And then after further study that you and I have done, we have found out that Karl Marx was an avid racist and even made the statement that we do not have the intellectual capacity to understand it. See? So, this is where we're getting all these contradictions from, is because we're letting outsiders define, our experience, you see. The biggest one that does it, Hollywood, God bless Tyler Perry, okay? He tried to make a move on Paramount. They did the same thing to Tyler Perry that Paramount did, that they did to our man there with BET, Robert Johnston. You see? What you coming in this boardroom for, nigga? You're not welcomed here. You might have the cash, but you cannot cash in your face. Remember that by Stevie Wonder? Brother Che.
Yes, Shabaka, I was helping Lady Che with some crews in the building.
Okay, Cruz. Hey, what's up, crew? What's happening out of the shy, man?
We can have platitudes run the movement. Not old feelings. This will not work.
Okay, crew. Shed some light. Black first. All right. Drop some knowledge. Reality. Mac 285.
I think he's saying like the same way the movements were ran in the past, they can't run like that anymore.
No, we got to learn from past mistakes. You see what I'm saying? Just like the meme I've seen of Dr. Newton, Dr. King, the X-Man, and the meme says, hey, we left it here for you guys. We're all gone. We're not coming back, okay? It's right up to you guys. You see, here's the blueprint. Work it. Take what is useful. Leave what is useless. Universal law and principles, to quote old boy who was born in San Francisco that grew up in Hong Kong. You say?
Yeah.
You say, I mean, man, that is 2 + 2 must always equal 4. 2 + 2 does not equal 5. It does not equal 6. You see what I'm saying? And then you got Stinky out here running shit. Then, of course, he's grooming Little Stink. You know what I'm saying? And what have you.
Crew said, Pan-Africanism is dead. We're not coming back. Pan-Africanism is useless. Spit out the bones.
Well, crew, that's your opinion, sir, and you're entitled to it.
We are Americans. And always
I'm a diasporic African. If I was a goddamn American, man, I wouldn't have had 9mm cocked and put to the back of my head.
Here we go.
Nigga, I'll blow your black ass from Hollywood Boulevard to Imperial Highway. Hey, man, do you know, crew, how far Imperial Highway is from Hollywood Boulevard? And it was the Hollywood division of the Los Angeles Police Department that told me that. The policy enforcers.
And then where do those policy enforcers come from, Shabaki?
The slave catchers. Mm-hmm.
Out of what part of the country?
Out of the South. They was up there going out there retrieving property. You see, not human beings, but property. As Lerone Bennett had said, I read 1,000 times. You could mortgage the slave. You could rent out the slave. You could borrow against the slave. Say
yes.
No, Africa, man, existed before America, man. Get with Dr. Ashwar, you know, and I'm still trying to reach out to Dr. Kwesi, brother Che, and he is busy for real, you know, so I'm going to keep reaching out to him, you know, until we get him. I love to have Dr. Ashwar. And American is an Italian word from Americo.
No, Shabaki, that's what we've been led to believe, but that's not true. Like, we gotta have to debunk all this stuff, but that's gonna be on a later date.
Okay, well, sir. Like I said, the knowledge that I leave behind, take what is useful, leave which is useless. Hollywood Boulevard is in Khalifa. No, sir. Okay, no, sir. Hollywood Boulevard is in the city of Los Angeles. The city of Los Angeles.
Okay, but before it was Los Angeles, Shabaki, it was Khalifa, the state of California, Khalifa.
Mm-hmm. And then not to mention the fact that land at one time before they started making the Hollywood pictures that was owned by a black woman, and they bullshitted her out of her land.
Yeah, we have no, like, he's not disparaging you, Shabaki. He says we love Lerone Bennett, but yet new information has come to light.
I don't put no value on no goddamn Eurocentric source.
It has nothing to do with no shit. Shabaki. Dr. Anthony Browder is not a European source. Dr. Clyde Winters is not a European source. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima is not a European source. Dr. Renoka Rashidi is not a European source.
Okay, hold on a second. No, okay, but here's something that I'm very, very curious about. Okay, and I'm very curious about this. Okay, I met Haki Mahabuti. I met him. Yeah, I met him, and I meant to get a book from him. I had an autograph there, and his wife is heavy too. I forgot his wife's name, but she's real heavy too. Yeah. I met him over there near the Crenshaw district. Leave what behind?
What you always say, Shabaka. He said, take what is useless and leave what is not.
Yeah, well, only thing I know is this, gentlemen, is that I'm going to, I know about Khalifa. Okay, only thing I know, bro, is this. After my demise, man, hey, Shabaka, you was right on this. Okay, all righty. Oh, is that right? From Chicago, is that right? Okay. I didn't know Haki was from the Chi. I met him and his wife, very, very good brother. Yeah, I dug his spirit. Very positive, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, you got his books in jail before they were published. Damn crew. Damn. Well, I'm glad you're about that motherfucker crew. That's for damn sure, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
okay. All righty.
It's Haki is my dad.
And I met Haki, man. This was about shortly after the rebellion and of 1992.
Okay, so the CBC is running around trying to get us to advocate for this legal immigration. It's not working.
Well, anything that the CBC is talking about, man, I look at it as fake dollars. You see what I'm saying? I treat the CBC the same way that they treated me when I tried to go meet Chumley out here at Pawn Stars.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you think I am Culture Revolution Underground? That's what the CRU stands for.
Okay. More power to you, crew.
Yep, like the Weather Underground. Yep.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Now, whoa. I have to comment on that. Okay, now the weathermen, okay, they did burglarize, if I got the history right, the FBI files, okay? And that is where they had pulled a lot of the COINTELPRO data. Okay, and what I have to do, man, I have to get an elder up here with us, man, and I think that it either would be Dr. Huggins or Dr. Cleaver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the next time I go into Panther Town, you know, I'm going to try to dig them up, and Dr. Huggins as well, too. I met Dr. Cleaver, I met Dr. Huggins.
All of them. Hakeem. All of them.
Yeah, I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking to you. Okay, brother, I'll quit talking to you, crew. Remember, you said it, not me. You got it.
I don't know if he's meaning this personally, Shabaka.
No, the man says stop talking to him. When the man says stop talking to him, man, I'm through talking to him.
Okay.
Because I have the same, how should I say, value system on that. Moving right along.
All right. So the next topic, since y'all just I don't know how to segue from this. So the next topic is Black attorney falsely claimed that FBAs are just like MAGA.
Oh, okay. I'll let you all talk. I'm gonna mute myself out on that one. When you say MAGA, brother, I want to vomit.
Okay. What is it? I don't know if you can. All right, so these Democrats is pulling out all the stops with this madness. So this Black attorney has accused FBA of being MAGA. We see this is clearly a false comparison because Democrats have no legitimate counter to what FBAs are saying. So Uncle Phil gonna give us an update on this. And this is another reason why the Democrats keep losing, and they're gonna keep losing FBA votes.
Say about the FBAs. We're gonna go through this article, and I want to cook about some of these Black attorneys a little bit, but we're gonna switch over to the app so I can cook in peace, so I don't have to worry about YouTube having an issue with what I'm gonna say about these Black attorneys. Certain words we can't use on YouTube. So I'll let you know when we just switch over to the app. I mean, of course, we always streaming on the app while we doing this, but anytime I want to say something, whatever, or something I may want to show, I'll let you know ahead of time. Hey, we're going to switch over to the app and go do that. So it's good to see everybody coming back in. I appreciate everybody who has downloaded the app and been joining over the weekend.
I'm not downloading your app, Uncle Phil.
Greatly appreciate it. If you want to be in the know, we had our Friday live stream
no virus.
Last Friday, and we was responding to Mr. Sheldon Daniels about
I had the app.
Issue.
I had it on my tablet.
But the issue was that just 2 years ago he was pro reparations. So check out our live stream. We got a whole live stream tab there now, so you ain't got to go look through the news section no more like you used to have to. So just go to the live stream section, and you'll see all our live streams there. That we are conducting. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many of y'all going to Ethiopia this coming week? Anybody going to Ethiopia in the chat? Just want to know if anybody going in the chat to Ethiopia. Make sure you have everything together because it comes up on you so fast. All your travel gear, your clothes. Now I saw the weather supposed to be like in the 50s in the morning and like the 70s during the day. Perfect weather. So make sure you bring like maybe like a little, a little zipper hoodie or something, just so you won't get too cold. I love that weather in the 50s and then like 70s. So make sure you bring your stuff. Make sure you have all your proper plugs, your international plugs. That's very important. Make sure you have that as well. But I just definitely want y'all to have a good time, enjoy the culture, check out the food. My favorite thing of going on any trip is eating. I'll be honest with you, because the food is so much better overseas. No matter what country I've been going to, the food just tastes so much better, especially the fruit. I want fruit. That's the main thing I want is fruit. Because the fruit, I don't know, it just tastes so much sweet overseas. And here, even strawberries don't taste the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Strawberries used to be real sweet here, but it's like, man, the pineapples don't taste the same.
Nothing tastes the same here no more.
Right? I think the last time I had a good
pineapple.
Because
you got them damn GMOs.
In Costa Rica a couple of years ago. That was the last time I had a real good pineapple. Boy, that pineapple was so good. God, man, it was sweet. But shout out to everybody who is going and everything. And remember, that's what the people chose, Ethiopia. So some people ask me about, y'all doing something. I never know what we're doing. Now I'm getting people asking. I'm talking about like the companies, but we don't know as of yet. We take one trip at a time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not to bore you too long, but let's go ahead and get started. So we have a article here that was shared with me, and let's go ahead and get it up on the screen. And it says the folly of so-called foundational Black Americans by a Mark P. Fancher. Now, Mark here, this is Mark P. Fancher. Mark is an attorney. Actually, he was honored and inducted for the ACLU and everything.
Oh,
so this kind of who he is. This kind of articles he has been producing. The spiritual death of a nation, lust for white privilege killed the Democratic Party. It's voting for Kamala pragmatic or cowardice. Mission Impossible Kamala Harris save a crumbling empire. So I'm just kind of letting you know kind of what he's writing here. And that's that, and he's just what he's writing. Okay, but he takes issue for sure with FBA. All right. Of course, we're going to go through this, kind of stop it. We need to stop it and just kind of do what we do, right? So he says here, so-called foundation of Black Americans tell themselves they are noble protectors of ancestral legacy. But they are, in fact, little different from European groups in this country. They conceptualize white privilege and try to reserve it for exclusive groups. Now, the main thing here, the big main thing, is they'll try to come around and say, oh, you FBAs are MAGA. And that's all they really have to say. They can't really argue anything about our lineage that goes back to the plantation fields of America. They can't argue that FBAs built the country. They can't argue that FBAs didn't innovate the country, okay? You can't argue that these people done FBAs so wrong. For instance, where the Pentagon is located, do you know it was a Black town by the name of Queen City right there? Where the Pentagon is at right now. They took that land away from Black folks, what's called Queen City, and put the Pentagon right there. Dulles Airport, there was another Black area right there. They took that from Black folks to build Dulles Airport over there. So, we have been oppressed, ostracized, stolen from, and yet we still figure out a way to keep going. Other groups would have been wiped out already, or they would have fled. Okay, we know all these people from all these numerous countries, they flee.
Yep.
They don't stand and fight. They don't rebuild. They don't do anything. That's where the contempt comes from some, not all, from some of the foreign nationals toward FBAs, is because when they look at us, they look at a group of people who didn't run, a group of people who didn't flee, a group of people didn't say, I got to go over here for a better life. If we leave America, it's because we do it by choice. We don't flee America because we just feel like we can't make it in America. So when they look at FBAs, we talking about foreign nationals, and they hear us saying, hey, we standing and fighting on this. We are building, we doing this, we doing that. And they seen what we do when we take a stand. Okay, they've seen it. It makes them feel some sort of way because, like, dog, why didn't we do that? Why are we here dealing with America and they stuff? Why we have to assimilate to America and whatever else the folks want us to do? We could be in our own homeland. And so it makes them feel some sort of way. And because now, in particular, we talking about, let's say, Black immigrants. They say, okay, they're African descent like me, right? We have some sort of African descent. But yet, look what they done in a land they're not even the majority in. I left a land that I'm the majority in.
That part.
I'm the majority, and I left it. I didn't stand and fight. So yeah, some of that, when you feel that, oh, they don't like us, some of that is because they feel like failures. When they look at you, they get convicted of their failure. That's why. Because we haven't done nobody nothing in no country. We haven't had time to go do nothing to nobody. So when people look at their failure, when they see us, they see their failure, and that's where the contempt comes from a lot of times. Now, let's get back to this article here, right? Let's get back to this article. Now, some of it we'll have to skip because some of it he just doing some Democrat jargon, right? Of course, here, you know, he's talking about all the stuff with Elon Musk and Trump, and don't care, really don't care about that. You know, he's still jumbling and running off at the mouth about just more Democrat mumbo jumbo. You know, talking about the town hall meetings right now. That people are mad at Trump and all of that. Don't care about that either, because that's people crying that they're getting their life disrupted just a little bit, not much, but just a little bit where they're upset about it. Okay. So as he scrolled down here, this is kind of where we want to kind of get started. Let's see here. Let me see. It's one spot. Give me a second. All right. I kind of want to start right here. Well, he says far too many of these European immigrants' efforts to assimilate included not only eating American bread, but also adopting the tradition of hating African indigenous people. Many Irish immigrants to America are the cause of considerable confusion and embarrassment for those in Ireland who have long stood in solidarity with Black and other oppressed people because of what Ireland has endured
Irish
at the
stood in
hands of the British
solidarity with us.
I said many Irish immigrants,
That's a lie.
along with those from other parts of Europe, declared through their actions.
Everything this dude is saying is a lie.
Was to demonstrate that they could be as good at racial hatred as any white person anywhere. Now he continues here. He says one of the hazards of immersion is it's a society fueled by the othering of those not in a favored group, is that othering becomes reflexive. Though people of African descent may have been the prime targets of othering for generations, they have not been immune to inclination to engage in this despicable practice themselves. This has been most tragic when there's been intra-community division. For generations, many Black communities were notorious for maintaining color caste based on shades of complexion that were largely the product of internalized inferiority prompted by pervasive white supremacy.
Yeah, the imitation of life.
Then there have been the tensions between people of African descent and communities of color, specifically Asians, Latinos,
the imitation of life.
The division has been a delight to those in the establishment whose continuing domination of the society depends heavily on the absence of a unified opposition to a profitable and exploitative program of social, economic, and political control. Now, one thing I want to kind of look at here is intra-community division. I want to look at that for a minute. And he also talks about other groups like Asians, Latinos, etc. Listen, I mean, anybody who studies, you know, racism, white supremacy, we know they use other groups as buffers between Black and white people. We know they bring them in here, they paper them up. It's going to immediately cause tension because Black Americans are suffering, and yet the same government that they're paying their taxes to is giving free money to foreign nationals. And then on top of that, the foreign nationals are in our neighborhoods opening up businesses that we couldn't afford to open because we weren't given loans.
I've been saying that for the last 10 goddamn years.
And on top of that, the cold part of that is they'll go open up a business in the Black community and won't even hire a Black person to even work in there. It'll be all their people, their family, whoever the case may be. Sure, that's going to cause some tensions when you go do that to another group of people. If I right now was to go to any African nation, right, Caribbean nation, Latin American nation, and I show up and their government is papering me up, they put me in a area where people are struggling, right? And now I'm doing so much better. I just got there 5 minutes ago. It would be the same issue. Wouldn't be no different. Because the people would say, hey, this dude just got here and y'all giving him all our money?
Yeah.
You should be taking care of us. This dude's a foreigner. He don't supposed to be coming in here owning all these stores. And on top of that, he's in our neighborhood and he's only hiring his family or his friends, or whatever the case may be. Man, hell no. This is a problem. Any country, any group of people feel that way. Even if you go to an African nation, they will feel the exact same way. If you go to a Caribbean nation, they'll feel the exact same way. Do you know?
Crew, don't say nothing to me, man.
I gotta go through that video. I'm probably gonna have to do that tomorrow. They have the street interviews right over there in Ghana. There's some people saying that with FBAs coming to Ghana, they kind of started to mess up the economy. Now, that part about messing up the economy, that comes actually from the greed of your people or anybody. For instance, people in Mexico saying the same thing. Americans moving over there is messing up the economy. They're jacking the prices up because they want to jack the prices up to get that American dollar. That's why I've always been a person to say, listen, I can visit, but I wouldn't want to be a person that just reside there in Ghana because too many have moved there. You know what I'm saying? And because too many have moved there, that's what happens because you're bringing your U.S. dollar there. So even in African nations,
but the U.S. dollar ain't shit. That's why Gaddafi tried to set up his own currency and they killed him for it. You just contradicted yourself,
Uncle Phil.
Government is
even assisting you to do it makes them feel a certain way.
Outside of the United States, the U.S. dollar is worth something. That's what he's saying. Like when you take the U.S. dollar over to these other countries, it actually means something. It might not mean nothing in this country. When you go outside of this country, you see that it does mean something. That's what he's saying.
Well, that's why we got to, acquire, gold. Say that's why the Chinese is over there trying to get all the gold out of Azania.
They're not even doing nothing to stop the Chinese from getting the gold.
Yeah, I know. It's like you said, it's the tethers. It's the goddamn neocolonialism. You see? And I mean, man, that neocolonialism trip, man, boy, just like what Renee Chirac said, that we read the other night, on our previous podcast,
Yeah.
And Chirac was right. You know what I'm saying? They convincing us that it's our fault, and they bled us for centuries. You see what I mean?
Well, they bled the Africans, Shabaka. We were over here built in this country.
Speak for yourself, brother.
While they were bleed. Well, our ancestors were over here built in this country while they was bleeding the Africans over there. Neither one of us was alive when all of this was going on.
Okay, but Brother Che, but both of these two subjects of what you talked about are the same, are two sides of the same coin. Say that's why we say fuck Gandhi. Gandhi goes over there, man, speaking for his people over there in Azania. He looked at us as lower than the dirt. You know that. I know that. Just like old girl. Oh, I'm not going to do nothing strictly for black people. No. And what was you telling me, Brother Che, that she was of that Brahma class, right?
Yep. But there's tethers in Africa have the same thought process.
Oh, shit.
Do we just ignore it and act like it's not there, or do we actually address it?
Well, the people have to be educated. You know what I'm saying? And that there is for your generations, Brother Che, because I'll be gone, man, just off the law of biophysics. You see? No, like I always said, take what is useful, leave what is useless.
Right, and that's exactly what we're doing, Shabaki. But I'm gonna let the video.
So that's why FBAs here, see, when we feel that way, we're xenophobic. We don't like immigrants. No, we're feeling the same way that any other group of people feel throughout the world when you're dropping off foreign nationals in their community and you making sure that they can open up businesses. That's why people want to come here, because in their own country, they couldn't get their government to give them a dime. But yet they get here, they get money. Now with Trump, you know, that won't happen. But you know, Trump not gonna be in there forever. We don't know. A Democrat can get back in there. We don't know, right?
They two sides of the same coin, Uncle Phil.
Get back in there, and it's going back to business as usual.
And the only person I'm voting for is Jesse Parrish, if I'm ever able to vote for him.
I already know how the Democrats get down. But let's
continue. One, brother Parrish.
Don't think
you're the only one.
Not so far-fetched that Democrats can't get back in there now. Don't think that.
I appreciate that.
No, because you've been out there in the struggle, man. You know what I'm saying?
The latest iteration of Black othering is found on the concept of foundational Black Americans. Okay. Now, this whole lawyer is worried about it. He said a website dedicated to the idea explains it is important to clarify that Foundational Black Americans, FBA, is not a group or an organization. And there is no designated leader of FBA.
Correct.
FBA is a lineage-based designation that specifically refers to over 43 million Black Americans who are direct descendants of the freedmen.
Yep.
The formerly enslaved Black people who were emancipated in the United States. This lineage represents a unique and unbroken connection to the foundational builders of this nation. Now
man, the foundational builders of the whole goddamn world, man. Shit.
Get a lot of them, and why they're having a problem with it is that, see, if they can make it an organization, if they can give it a leader, then it's easier to attack. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be an organization to attack it. But see, when something say, okay, no, it's just a lineage, and that's what it is. Hey, we are descendants of the freedmen. We are descendants of the enslaved. You know, we are descendants of Harriet Tubman. We are descendants of Nat Turner. That's just who we are, right? And you can't join a lineage. You can't leave a lineage. You can't pay membership dues. You can't do any of that.
Right.
So because you can't do any of that, right, that's what's making it very hard for those who trying to find an angle to attack, you know, FBA. That's just really what it is. And because they have no perceived leader, who you go after? See, one thing white supremacy love is a leader.
Yep.
Because if they have the Black leader, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go corrupt him or her. Look at the recent people that was corrupted. Black Lives Matter. Them 3 Black women.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they may start off doing something right, but what did the Democrats do? They corrupted them. They gave them the cares of they gave them money.
Uncle Phil, they were corrupt in their origin.
Like they did to Jesus, right? And you know,
that's why I'm glad that broad lost her crib up there in Topanga Canyon.
All you gotta do is fall down and worship me. That's all you gotta do, and I give you all of this, right? Well, the devil works through people just as much as God works through people, right? And the devil came to them women and say, hey, you know, I give you all this money. I give you houses. I give you shows on YouTube. I give you everything. All you got to do is just let me into this and corrupt it. Let's start talking about LGBT and trans. Let's start saying trans lives matter too, Black trans and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And what ended up happening when all that got corrupted?
Blame Obama.
All these figures are coming up, all corrupted. And because I remember when Black Lives Matter like really jumped off.
Yeah.
Definitely with the situation in Ferguson. I remember. Y'all gotta understand. I've been around a while.
Yeah.
And it was pure in what it was. It was very pure. And it got corrupted. And it got corrupted with the white liberal. Because they did that with certain people to worm their way in with money. And then in the end, what ended up happening? Now, they talking about Trump and them. Why don't Trump and them investigate where all that money went with Black Lives Matter? I want to know where that money went. And it's a lot of white liberal hands that took the money, that $90 million that was raised during the time of George Floyd, It did not go to the local chapters of Black Lives Matter, the people that's in the streets doing the work.
It went to
It didn't go to
George
them.
Soros.
It went to all these white LGBT organizations. We had talked about this. We had broke that down with the Tides organization. All different ones was getting their money, and black folks didn't see a dime. They finessed the $90 million.
Yep.
This is why now, when they try to come around, see, the thing is, the beauty of all that happening though is a beauty. Is that we have a record of it, and now we understand why Malcolm X said, you can't join no organization with us.
Right.
If you want to support, you can support from the outside. You could donate into a situation, but you can't be a part of it. You can go back to your community and listen to what we say and preach our message to your community, but you can't come in this organization. You can't come in our lineage. You can't come nowhere, because when you try to come in, you want to come in and corrupt and control.
Yep.
Because you don't know how to listen and be underneath black folk.
Yep.
And we understand who you are based on your culture. Because we know what your culture is. We've been understanding your culture for hundreds and hundreds of years. So because of that is why Malcolm said in his great wisdom that you can't come over here. You can't join. I don't feel any way bad about black people. I have black friends. My so-and-so is black. My dog is black. And that may be true. And God bless you if you are that way. But go to your community, preach our message to your community. That's where you can help us. You want to help us? Donate something. Donate some money or something. And help us with our cause, but you do it that way. We don't need you here, because you coming into our mix, we can't even get healed enough. You know, I said a long time ago, black folk need a 1,000-year separation to heal. Not in the area of any kind of hate. No. We need to heal. And when they come in the mix of us, people just the internal issues start coming up. Some people's white validation start coming up. No. But when none of that's going on, and it's just our community dealing with an issue or a problem, whatever that may be, right? Then we are taking care of business. So with delineation, I always say delineation should mean the delineation from everybody. Not just, not saying, okay, we're going to delineate within the diaspora. No. We have to delineate from everybody, in which a lot of you have been on that, the delineation from everybody. That's why everybody's coming to black folks now and say, hey, black people, what's up? Why aren't y'all saying that? Why aren't you? Because we have delineated from everybody. It may start it off with, hey, we want to delineate and just have our own, position in the diaspora, as we should have, right? But now it went to the step that I always wanted to go to, delineate from everybody. Let everybody sit up there and deal with their own issues and problems. So this deal, one of the biggest issues that other groups are having is they're finally feeling the weight of America. And delineation did that. And that's a beautiful thing. Feeling the weight of America on their shoulders is beautiful, because we were carrying the weight of America on our shoulders forever. Now they feeling it. Why do you think they're so angry at town hall meetings? Because they're starting to feel the weight of America. Look at how they upset about how the police doing them at immigration checkpoints. We talking about white folks. They mad. They never had to experience any of that. They never had to experience stops and seizures.
Oh, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh?
Us. So that's why
it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Let's get back here. Okay, let's see if we can scroll down. You see, those who describe this concept believe it is important to distinguish so-called, and they keep saying so-called. It's not so-called. Foundation of Black Americans from those born in Africa and other people of African descent whose ancestors were never enslaved in the U.S. This perspective resembles the MAGA program, not only in its othering of immigrants, but also in the convenient disregard of facts and reliance on comforting self-delusion, all of which is ultimately self-defeating. We're not being self-defeated. We're actually getting more done. Now, we're getting more done in this short amount of time than we ever have done before. Now, nothing FBA says.
And how is that, Uncle Phil?
It's similar to MAGA.
We brought
Let's
the
call it what
Democrats
it
to
is.
their
The
knees.
majority of these people who are in
I
MAGA,
vote in blue no matter who after 60 years of doing the same old thing.
Okay. All right.
On code. And we send a clear message that it's a new day on the plantation. We're not going for the same old stuff that went with, fortunately, with the boomers, the traditionalists, the silent generation. We're not on that type of time. So, and that was in the course of 6 years.
Okay, you talking about 6 years since the first time Trump got elected, or what?
No, 6 years. You asked what had been done.
Okay, wait a minute, Brother Che. Please repeat your last statement, man. You faded out.
You asked what had been done in the last 6 years.
Yes.
And now we got the Democrats. We stopped voting them blue no matter who.
Okay. All right.
We delineated. We got on code.
Okay.
And we sent a clear message to them: tangibles, no vote.
Well,
6 years. These other groups that can hold their own nuts.
Well, they got to, man. We can't do it no more.
6 years. The cape has been off.
Yeah, and then also too, to prove your point even further, Brother Che, I believe there in Los Angeles, what was that there a couple of weeks ago? They were asking when we did Shabaka's Black experience, well, where the black folks at? How come they ain't out here with us? You know?
Yeah, when they had that stupid ass the day without immigrants.
Yeah. No, where the black folks at?
Nothing
yeah,
stopped.
You know, where you colored at?
Nothing stopped.
MAGA, including the white folk, are immigrants.
Yep.
FBAs are immigrants. The majority of the white folk in this country are immigrants. They can tell you exactly where their family come from.
They're the original illegal immigrants.
They can say Britain. They may say Ireland. They may have a whole lot of places. If white folks can tell you exactly where their family come from, that means they are an immigrant.
Yep.
So MAGA is a white immigrant movement. Now, of course, you got people of all communities that would subscribe to some of that, right? But let's call it what it is. Donald Trump's people immigrated here.
Yep.
So it's an immigrant movement.
It is.
What is he
a white immigrant movement? Because remember that there was a brother that did a whole video that was talking about, why don't y'all love me? I thought I was part of MAGA too. And they said, nigga, if you don't get your ass on
Now that was resurrection of the mental dead right there.
Remember Shabaka played the video of the brother that was like, I thought I was down with MAGA. They said I can't be down with MAGA because I'm a nigga.
Yeah, exactly. And look at the dumpster supporters down there recently, man. In the last week down there, what's that there by Orlando, I think. When are you niggas gonna go back to Africa and start destroying our country and all that old type of shit? You know.
It ain't their damn country. And then you take the ass back to Europe.
Man, as far as I'm concerned, what them motherfuckers need to do is get with Stinky Bird and Little Stink, get on a goddamn SpaceX and fly that motherfucker directly to the goddamn sun.
No, that would be doing us all a favor, Shabaka.
I know.
Talking about we are the only ones in this country who are non-immigrants.
Right.
It's us. And let's call it what it is. We didn't know nothing about
we were property
until our brothers and sisters from the diaspora taught it to us. You may say, what you mean? Yeah. We was on this kumbaya. We all one black person.
There it is, Shabaka.
And we all the same. And then when they came over here, they were like, nah, I'm not you. I'm neo-colonialism. From this country, I come from that country. Nah,
neo-colonialism. And let that motherfucker take his black ass to Los Angeles and get stopped by the LAPD like that sister said to that motherfucker there from Nigeria.
Neo-colonialism is white people ruling black nations
No, brother Che,
Yes,
that's the
yes.
colonialism. The
But the
neocolonialism is the handpicked
neo-colonial,
Negroes that keep the agenda going on,
but
homie.
it's still white people that's behind the scenes, Shabaka.
Well, see,
That's
that's
colonialism.
what that's what I'm saying, brother Che. You just agreed with me, man. Please listen. Please hear me out. The neo-colonialist is on the puppet strings of the white slave master, just like that sister man who addressed the European banking countries, and I believe the sister was from the Cameroon, and she had stated, well, when you all call these countries in Africa shithole countries, keep in mind from these shithole countries, you get the gold, you get the silicon, the vibranium, okay? You get the diamonds, other precious metals, tungsten, you see what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but who
What she was
controls
right
that?
about.
But exactly, but who's controlling that?
No, who's controlling it,
You
man?
got all these riches underneath the ground,
Mm-hmm.
in the ground, but yet your country is poor as shit. Makes no sense.
Okay, but that's just it, though, brother Che. Is because the colonialists are stripping all of the resources out of there. Just like when you look at them goddamn Tarzan Buana movies, they always got some motherfucking tether up there. Hey, Buana, yeah, it's over here, Buana. And what's Buana doing? Taking all the ivory, killing off the elephants, taking all the diamonds, taking all the motherfucking gold, the tungsten.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
But
You know, as what's his name had said, okay, who was the brother from South Africa, the bishop who had stated that in the beginning we had the land, yeah, and the European had the Bible. We closed our eyes and bowed to pray. When we raised our heads up and opened our eyes, we had the Bible, and the European had the land.
Yeah, and they've had it ever since.
Yeah, right. Why do you think they killed? Yes, sir. Why do you think they killed Thomas Sankara?
So how do you break that chain? How do they break the chain? I'm not gonna say we. How do they break that chain? Because they literally still have that chain on them. And
it's gonna take a couple of.
They weren't enslaved like us, per se.
But brother Che, that there's the assignment for your generation when y'all get up into my age group, man, because I'll be gone.
Well, and that okay, so Shabaki, what you just said is part of the problem, because the generations ahead of us keep leaving it on us and the generations after us to solve this problem or to deal with this issue that was around before we were even a twinkle in any of our mama or daddy's eyes.
Okay, but brother Che, like a wise man said, in any given situation, take what is useful, leave what is useless. You know? After I check out, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, feel free, you know, to the material. Well, you know, he was wrong on this, but he was right on that. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, just like you know, what you said, what you was right about, what the motherfuckers was forbidden for washing a nasty, funky, stinking, disease-infested asses, okay, because they thought it was a sin. You see what I'm saying?
The church told them it was a sin.
Right. Hold on, brother Che, but hold on. But when our sisters discovered the concept of feminine hygiene, you see what I'm saying? They pass it on to the next generations. See, brother Che. Oh, how could I put this here to you? That's why it's important to have libraries, okay? Yeah. You know, like what Ron DeSantis is doing, man, that's a crime against humanity. Oh, no, we got to take all these books out the library, woke shit, and I'm down there in Florida, and white folk gonna talk to me. And they had mentioned woke shit, and I says, okay, well, what is woke? Oh, that there makes white people feel bad because
there was a whole blog that wrote a whole book on it, and she couldn't even define it.
Okay, but brother Che, that's the point I'm making. These motherfuckers was coming with double speak, sir. Like George Orwell. Like George Orwell.
It's just like how they used to use thug and criminal.
Mm-hmm.
It's coded language.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can't even define. They can't even define woke. And they done twisted it up so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have the same meaning. It doesn't even have the same meaning that it had initially. You know.
Okay, well, brother Che, that's why it's called spelling for casting spells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like Sigmund Freud, who was a practicing dope fiend and a homosexual, but this son bitch is gonna sit up here and they call him the father of psychology. See, that's a contradiction within itself. It's not a paradox, you see, because it's not true. It's a contradiction within itself.
Mm.
You know, you and I have both been college educated, and I think when you take the elective courses, I think Psych 101 is one of them, you know. And I told a damn teacher, and he couldn't answer the goddamn question. I said, well, man, this dude is on dope, man, and he's a practicing homosexual, so how the fuck is he going to talk about the sexuality between men and women?
Mm.
I mean, really.
All right, let me finish this video, Shabaka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, shoot, man, what's up with that Jollof? I'll give you some of this dirty rice and let's try it out. No. Everybody wanted to move away from FBA. The Caribbeans, a lot of them wanted to move away from FBA. They wanted to have their own everything. And then you fast forward to 2025, or definitely 2024 for sure, and black folks say, okay, cool. Well, if everybody's delineating, this was kind of like what standard operating procedure in the diaspora, but then we gonna do it. And then the moment the FBA started to do it, everybody had a problem with it. So no, MAGA can't compare to that, because MAGA is not trying to delineate. MAGA is not saying to hell with the system. Let it do whatever it do. MAGA's not saying that. So that stupid comparison to MAGA, like I think y'all think that if y'all compare us to MAGA, that's gonna make us like, oh my God, I don't want to be compared to MAGA, and what, we supposed to fall apart or something, and like try to prove you wrong. Who are you to prove anything to, first and foremost? I mean, you're nobody. Number two, if somebody wants to be MAGA, if they want to in the black community, okay, that's what they choose to do. They have a freedom to do it. What are you going to do about it? Not a freaking thing.
Right.
They want to go vote Trump. They want to go vote Republicans. That's what they want to do. That's their American right to do so. That's what you Democrats don't understand. Like, black folks don't have to vote for you.
Right.
They can vote for that couch, which a lot of them did in the election. A lot of them did. If they want to vote Republican, some of black folks did vote Republican, right? If they want to vote Democrat, that's their right as well. Y'all do not own FBA votes. You don't own it. All the name calling doesn't make it any better. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, like Obama with that finger wagging shit.
So-called Foundation of Black Americans tell themselves they are no protectors of ancestral lineage, but they in fact are different from European groups. In this country, they conceptualize white privilege and try to serve it to exclusive groups. In the case of Foundation of Black Americans, so-called American descendants of slaves, that's two different things. That's an organization. ADOS is an organization.
Exactly.
That has a leader and chapters and stuff like that. FBA is not. Who preceded them is that there is this belief, sometimes stated, sometimes not, that there is only a small slice of American pie that's potentially available to black people. It's terribly unfair that those who are relatively recent arrivals in this country will share in that slice to the exclusion of people whose families have been here since the slavery era. Many Foundation of Black Americans also believe that reparations paid by the U.S. government should not be paid to those whose ancestors were not held in the bondage in the U.S. Well, why is it called reparations? Why? Right. It is to repair. It's for slavery, okay? If you wasn't enslaved in this land, if your ancestors was we went through colonization, okay, well, go get that from the British. Go get that from the French. Go get that from Spain.
Right.
Go get it from them. Okay. Go get it from Germany,
the Dutch,
Namibia, or places like that. Go get it from Germany.
Right. The Berlin Conference.
But get it from somewhere, right? Not here. Why should the U.S. government pay or even be told they would have to pay, entertain paying people that showed up freaking yesterday. Let me tell you something. If I go to any African country right now and they about to give them some money, what I look like showing up and saying, hey, well, man, I just got here last week. What about me? I want some of that. They be like, bruh, what you don't qualify for crap. You're not one of us. I mean, you in the diaspora and we cool with you, but you're not from this country. Your ancestors wasn't born here. Your ancestors were born in America.
Right.
And I'm sitting up here getting mad. Like, no, it's supposed to be.
Wow.
You know what? Because I can't get it. Well, I'm gonna see what I can do to sabotage y'all getting it.
And that's why we call them tethers.
What would I or any of you look like going to any other country trying to pull that crap?
A tether.
I'm mad that I can't get.
We would look like tethers.
Y'all supposed to be getting. But I'm the one by choice came to that country. I chose to come there. Nobody forced me there. So I want the same resources that the people that been in that country for hundreds and hundreds of years, I'm supposed to get the same resources. That's stupid.
Right.
Let's go on something you understand. Your job. Let's say they're giving out bonuses on the job. When you get hired on the job, let's say you got hired, bro. And they have a Christmas bonus.
The mic sounds better.
If you got hired in November on the job and they gave you a Christmas bonus in December, do you get a bonus? Do they give you one? Do they give you the same bonus that they would give somebody that been there 5-10 years? If you just started, you wouldn't even get a bonus. You just got started. And the next year, right, you'll get something, but it won't be a whole lot. You're not going to get anything like everybody else. It's never going to be the same. And we talking about just in the job world, right? People that have been there the longest is going to get the majority of everything. When it comes to slavery, if your ancestors were enslaved here, you get something. If they wasn't, then tough cookie. The problem is they have this thing where they believe foreign nationals are supposed to get everything that we get. Mm. And what we're saying now is hell to the no, you're not getting what we get because you didn't go through what we went through in this country. Right. I'm not talking about what you happened in your country. I'm not, you may say it's just as bad as y'all. It could be, but it didn't happen here.
Right.
It didn't happen here. Once again, go back to your country and get what you deserve. But here, no. Show me the pictures of your ancestors getting bit up by some dogs. Show me the pictures of your ancestors being swinging off of trees.
Right.
Show me the pictures of your ancestors being blown up in churches.
Right.
Show me the pictures of your ancestors on the plantation field. Show me pictures of your ancestors, the women in your family got white babies on their breasts. Show us those pictures. You start producing those pictures and all of that, then we could talk. But you can't because you wasn't even here. You was over there in your place. So no,
it's all part of the mind for Uncle Phil.
Let's
it's all part of it, man.
Boy, I wish we could get Dr. O'Neill up here. The foundational builders of this nation, but they're into flagrant untruth. Implicit in the statement is a suggestion that meaningful contributions to the struggle for liberation and justice have been made solely by those whose ancestors enslaved in the U.S. What then are we to say about Marcus Garvey, who couldn't get nothing done until he came among FBAs because Jamaicans did not support him? They did not support the UNAIA.
They sure
and when he was deported,
because
he ended up leaving Jamaica and going to the
colony.
UK. He couldn't continue his work even in Jamaica after he got deported. So don't bring Marcus Garvey's name into it.
The reason why
Harry Belafonte.
Yes, that's true. They were a colony, but they got their independence. What year did Jamaica get their independence?
1962.
Okay, so
1962, the same year that Kenya got its independence with the burning spear.
Okay, so Garvey was in the late 1800s, early 1900s, right?
He was basically in the 1920s, Brother Che. Yeah, the 1920s. The United
States in the 1920s, Shabaki. Prior to that, he was in Jamaica.
Okay, hold on, Brother Che. Let me pull some data here, man. You always got me pulling data, Brother Che.
That's what we do. We research.
Okay. Okay, United Negro Improvement Association, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and African Communities League, okay, is a Black nationalist, fraternal organization founded by Marcus Garvey.
There you go.
Fraternal organization.
Know what that means, Shabaka?
Yeah, okay. And hold on, Brother Che. Glad you brought that up, man, because I'm reaching out to the doctor who wants to do something with us, man, in regard to fraternal organizations. Okay, fraternal organization founded by Garvey and his then wife, Amy Ashwood Garvey. The African Nationalist Organization enjoyed the greatest strength in the 20s and was influenced prior to Garvey's deportation to Jamaica in 1927. After that, its prestige and influence declined, but it had a strong influence on Afro-American history and development. The UNIA was said to be unquestionably the most influential anti-colonial organization in Jamaica prior to 1938. Okay. The organization was found to work for the advancement of people of African ancestry around the world. Its motto, one God, one aim, one destiny. And its slogan is, Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. Yeah, and Malcolm X's father, both his parents actually were a member of this organization. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, the broad mission. Yeah, UNIA, ECL led to the establishment of numerous auxiliary components, among them the African Legion, a paramilitary group. A paramilitary group? And the African Black Cross Nurses, plus businesses such as Black Star Steamship Line and the Negro Factories Corporation. Okay. All right.
But he didn't get nothing cracking until he came here.
Okay.
Didn't get nothing cracking in the Caribbean. They was not trying to hear Black empowerment at all. They was not trying to hear African for the Africans abroad. They was not trying to hear that. The only people that was trying to hear that was foundation.
Yeah, because they were colonized. Okay. Now, okay. All right, yeah. So now they got the shit with him about the stock market, fucking with corporations.
Yeah. Because he was giving out
1919.
He was having FBA buy stocks.
Okay, hold on, Brother Che.
For a ship that he didn't even own.
Okay, and then he had the Negro Factories Corporation with a capitalization of $1 million. It generated income and provided some 700 jobs by its numerous enterprises: 3 grocery stores, 2 restaurants, a laundry, a tailor shop, a dressmaking shop, a millinery store, a printing company, and doll factory. However, most went out of business by 1922. Now, he just brought back a memory with this here, Brother Che. Okay, this is a little bit before your time.
Yeah.
In the late 1960s, they had the Malika dolls. Okay. Where the black girls was buying real heavily because my little sister had one, right?
Yeah.
And guess what them motherfuckers did, man? Sold the shit to Mattel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They went and sold the shit to the same motherfucker that brought you Barbie doll bimbos.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the case where we shot ourselves in the foot on that one right there.
All right, so they're bringing up, this dude in this article is bringing up riders in the diaspora that came over here and created a huge following. Why are you even listening? You have headphones. Like, what are you talking about? All right, let me tell you, it's like giving her a little 2 cents.
Harry Belafonte, okay, he was definitely a helpful person in the civil rights movement. Okay, Kwame Ture, he stood on business.
Yeah, he did.
C.L.R. James, Louis Farrakhan. Now you put the minister Louis Farrakhan. Yes, he has a Caribbean background. He do, but he stood on business as an FBA here, and he advocated for FBAs. He never sat up there and advocated against FBAs. This man had went through everything for FBAs. You can't even put Minister Farrakhan in. You can't do it. You just can't do it.
I sure love the way Minister Farrakhan checked the shit out of Mike Wallace.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll never get another Minister Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Never.
That was beautiful.
Ivan Van Sertima, Cicely Tyson, Shirley Chisholm. Oh, do you really want to put Shirley Chisholm
Chris
there?
Wallace ain't
Really?
shit.
Cicely Tyson, okay. I didn't know that she maybe had some Caribbean background or something like that. Okay.
She
Cicely
did.
Tyson has never said nothing.
You read her
ill
books
will
about
toward,
it, so you would know.
FBA, and she always said she was a black woman. So why are you putting her in it? And say also the idea that slavery.
Read Cicely Tyson's autobiography, Dr. Phil.
Enterprise.
But him making that statement right there tells me he ain't read the fucking book.
Facts documented so well in Eric Williams' book, Capitalism and Slavery, about the global operations of the slave trade, that the co-responsible for those held in bondage in the Caribbean and Latin America are culpable for the plight of those enslaved in the U.S. and vice versa. In other words, when it comes to slavery, the circumstances of all Africans are indivisible. This includes Africans who were never taken from Africa because they were left to cope with the devastation that was the consequence of the slave trade's massive depopulation of the continent and destabilization of African societies. Sir, let me say something else. It's called slavery reparations here in this land.
Right.
Not the Caribbean. Not Latin America.
So we stressed since day one.
Caribbean.
We've been stressing that for 7 years
and the
now.
Spanish in the Caribbean. Okay, that's the main two players. There's some British here and there, right? In Latin America, they need to go holler at the Portuguese. They need to go holler at the Spanish.
Right. So you're calling us
for the most part. That's the main two.
Are you stealing our material?
That's why you got Spanish language all through there.
Are you stealing our material, Uncle Phil?
Or holler at the people in Portugal for their reparations. In the continent of Africa, once again, they need to go holler at the British. They need to go holler at other European powers, right? They need to go holler at definitely Germany is one of them. Just thinking about Germany. They need to go
Germany, the Netherlands, France, Britain, and Belgium, man. God damn.
You know, like Equatorial Guinea. That's the only Spanish-speaking African country in the continent. So they need to go holler at them for their reparations, right? That's who they need to go holler at. It's just that simple.
Right.
Why is it that you saying that this government should be paying for something they had nothing to do with? I'm sorry. The American government didn't enslave every person throughout the world. They enslaved our descendants. That's the dumbest thing ever. But what this man is trying to do is he's trying to see what he can do to graft foreign nationals into the slave. Because you remember he said Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America. So that's what he wants. You graft all those people in, you won't get $5.
Huh?
No. Let's continue. Say hoping for only a slice of the American pie not only limits the vision of what is possible for the African world, but it also takes the idea of liberation and self-determination off the table. Why settle for a slice of American pie when it's possible to enlist all people of African ancestry in a global fight to purge Africa of all foreign exploiters and then unite the entire continent under a single flag that flies over a unified socialist economy, and that through its sheer
ain't gonna happen.
Is able to guarantee the protection and prosperity of not only black communities throughout the world, but also solidarity.
Because the cat that brought you the concept of socialism hated black people too. His name was Karl Marx.
Of imperialism. Sir, let me stop there. Sir, listen. You yourself can go yourself right now to the African continent and do that. Do it.
Right.
You know, I've talked to people who've been strong, hardcore Pan-Africanists and a lot of them never even been to Africa. I'm like, how you call yourself a Pan-Africanist and you never been to Africa?
Right.
If you're a true Pan-Africanist, Africa's supposed to be, you're supposed to have your 5 to 10 year plan to leave America to go stay in the African continent. If you're not going to the African continent, if you're not traveling to the African continent at least once a year, twice a year, something like that, then how am I gonna take you seriously as a Pan-Africanist? I can't take you serious. Because you're not even going to Africa.
Speak to April Aaliyah Jones, Uncle Phil.
It doesn't make sense.
She answered that question
Prime
on
example.
our podcast.
Umar Johnson.
Well,
He got a
especially from
Ghanaian
the Africa,
citizenship, and he's still not over there.
No,
Like, bro, why
April
you not
Aaliyah
over there?
Jones
Ghana
went to a
gave you all
Zania.
citizenship, and you're not
And
over
I
there.
asked her,
Go
and
be in
you're a
school over
witness.
there. It'd be
I
much
says, did you
easier,
feel
actually.
an ancestral
Africa,
connection?
that's
And
Africa.
to
I
my
respect that.
shocking,
Like, you don't-
she
you-
stated
See, I see
very
wrong,
much
though.
so.
But she actually
See?
went though. A lot of people that are preaching this Pan-Africanism have never set foot in Africa at all. Zania, anywhere in between. You know, Africa has 55 countries. Zania is just one of them. They ain't set foot in none of them. But they said they're telling us to go over there, and they ain't even setting foot over there. And then the ones that's over there is they trying to get over here.
Well, neo-colonialism. Yep.
You don't.
We came a long
you're
way,
not
but we
living
damn
there?
sure got a hell
But
of a
then these
lot
same kind
longer
of
way to
people will
go.
tell everybody else here, listen, realistically, 43 million people can't just jump up and go to the African continent. It just can't happen. It can't. Is it enough room to absorb 43 million people in the continent? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the continent is way bigger than this American landmass. Way bigger. They can actually absorb 43 million people.
Africa is twice the size of the United States.
I really wouldn't suggest it. And I'm a person that love going to the African continent. I love going. I want to have homes in multiple African countries. That's part of my goal. And just like I got my businesses running in different African countries. I love it going over there. But
well, then, Uncle Phil, it seems like you need to break us off some bread, man, because we damn sure been good to you advertising your shit.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a firm believer of having.
No, you shouldn't have said
you
that.
can have homes in multiple countries, or at least an apartment or something in other countries. You can dip out when you want to. You can come back. You can stay 3 months or whatever.
I know people that's done this though, Shabaka. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know people that's actually like that say they're Pan-Africanists that have went over to Africa, built homes, built compounds, built stuff, and they go there periodically. You know, once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, stuff like that. But then I also know people that have never set foot in Africa and literally keep saying that they're Pan-African and all of this, and they have never set foot there.
Well, I've had relatives that
like
visit
I tell people
there.
this, the ultimate goal, like what I would like to do is say, hey, I eventually like to stay, let's say like maybe 6-7 months on a continent and the rest, you know, here in the stateside with time, right? With time. And when I'm doing that, I'm chilling more so than anything else. I'm not trying to, right? But not everybody want to do that. Some people find right here in America, and they should have their right to stay here in America. Our ancestors built this place.
Right.
And every
Well,
FBA
actually,
has
Uncle
a
Phil,
right
we
to
built the
America.
whole goddamn Western Hemisphere.
Man, they got FBAs and they've even seen America. That's why I tell FBAs travel and go see the states and cities. At least travel to the cities where black people at in America, so you can at least say, "Hey, I was thinking about that. Like, say, hey, over the summer, I want to start taking my little girl to these different cities that she never been to here in America. She's been to, some for sure, some major cities, but I want to take her to cities she's never been to, so she could see it. Because I want her to have like a well-rounded, even about the United States.
Right.
He's doing all that talking, but he ain't over there.
Right.
I ain't seen no pictures of him. Maybe he did go. I don't know, but he ain't over there. He want to tell everybody else what they need to do. Let's go back here. Now, they say perhaps even more important than the unification of the African world is the preservation of what makes African people so special. Now, let me stop right there. Because I'm looking at the time. So I'm gonna continue this. I'm gonna wrap this up, and now I'm gonna say what I want to say about that lawyer. But we're gonna go ahead and finish that up on the app, actually. So we're gonna go. So if you're on the ADNC app right now,
man, I ain't going on your app, man.
What we're saying.
It's a good app, Shabaka. I've been on it.
Okay, is it safe?
Yes, Shabaka.
Okay. All right. You know, I'll take your word for it, Brother Che. Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts with this black attorney falsely claiming that FBAs are just like MAGA? Another reason why Democrats lose FBA votes.
Okay. That's a tough one right there. Okay, so he's saying pretty much is that, to paraphrase it, is that MAGA and the Democrats are two sides of the same coin, right?
No, he's trying to say that we FBA and MAGA is two sides of the same coin, which is not true at all.
Okay. All right, let's hear what the brother's talking about.
We just covered it, Shabaka. That's what Uncle Phil was just reading.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing I have to say about that is this, man. They have to do more research. On that one with me, the jury's still out. I need more information.
Okay. My thoughts are it's a desperate attempt again by another Democrat to try to make a false comparison between us and this is the same shit that Joy Reid was doing 6 years ago, Shabaka. Calling disinformation agents and talking about that we was Russian bots and all this dumb shit.
Damn. Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So instead of comparing us to Brexit, now you want to compare us to MAGA. It's ridiculous.
Damn. Wow. Oh boy.
Same old plays. They keep running the same plays off the same playbook. All right, so moving on. We got controlling our narrative. Means controlling our dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Black Truth. Video. Where you at, video? I had you pulled up, video. Hold on, Shabaka, I gotta pull this up.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all. I got 1,001 damn windows on me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. There's a concept called reclaiming the narrative. I'm sure you've probably heard about it before now. Reclaiming the narrative means not just stopping others from speaking for us, but also speaking up for ourselves. In fact, that's the main thing it means. We see this all the time, people reclaiming the narrative, but mostly it's where politics and media intersect. That's usually when you hear that phrase used the most and actually when the rubber meets the road. Things like delineation, well, that's an important part of what it means for us, reclaiming our own narrative. When people tell us that standing by our lineage is divisive, quote unquote, that's them trying to stop us from reclaiming the narrative. When people are running around trying to shame us into doing what they want, when they tell us you shouldn't be saying to only spend money with those who spend it with you, that's them trying to stop us from reclaiming the narrative. The narrative being telling the truth. We have the right to say how others have been behaving towards us and to say that we won't allow it anymore. How many times has this happened to you or someone you know? You go out, you need to buy something, you go into a store, restaurant, shop, whatever, you make your selection, and then when it comes time to pay, that's when it hits you. These people that you're about to give your money to, they would never be doing that for you. The shoe would never be on the other foot. You would never have a situation where you're the one who's the friendly merchant and you realize that the person that you're about to give your hard-earned money to, they would never come to you and actually spend money with you. And it's not because you don't have the right items or because your work or your goods are not of the right quality. It's because they make it a point not to spend money with you. As far as they're concerned, the money's only supposed to flow in one direction, out of your pocket and into theirs. And it's at that very moment that you're reminded you are actually rewarding somebody for putting an economic boycott on you. And that matters because the basis of all exchange is reciprocation. And it's all encompassing. It's not just for a single transaction. It has to do with how you deal with people on a variety of levels. You want to change a situation, you got to stop and think. But the first thing that has to happen is you have to stop. Meaningful analysis or any sort of contemplation is almost impossible to do when you're on the run, when you haven't stopped long enough to consider what it is that you're doing. Exercising power means exercising discipline. White power spent decades now setting up a paradigm where it's helped everyone else to leapfrog over us. It does this by making it seem convenient to spend money with anti-Black racists. But we've been living the consequences of this folly, and it hasn't been cheap at all. Now, whenever Black people create something, everybody else feels that they have the right to come along and call themselves reverse engineering their own version of it, one where they try to sell what it is that we have created and contributed, but without giving us any of the profits that we made possible. You see, if you're somebody who likes to go to a particular type of restaurant or a particular type of shop, what should happen if Black people are operating like everyone else is that you would have a Black person who creates that kind of shop on their own, and you would buy from them. You would never go to the actual group who actually created it because, well, they're outside the community. That's what everybody else does when it comes to Black people. And Black folks think to themselves that it's convenient to spend money this way, but what you're doing is cutting your own throat. Most people act without thinking, and systems of oppression rely on that. When people stop to think, they're only a hair's breadth away from changing what they do. There are, of course, people who hate the fact that we speak like this, but why is it that they never seem to hate the people who decide that they're going to economically boycott us simply because we're Black? How come nobody ever seems to have a problem with that one? Nobody ever goes up to these other groups and says, you know what, if you don't spend money with Black folks who are your customers, why on earth should they spend money with you? These complainers all act the same way, with outrage, most of it phony, as if we don't have the right to decide who we give our money to, our vote to, or even our time to. Nobody ever looks at Black people acting in our own self-interest and says, you know what, that's great. What these guys are doing, that's what ought to happen. Everybody else does it, and it's not an issue. We do it, and it's a threat. Black people deserve to have the best, but deserving isn't enough. You have to build it, and that means you have to support it. And that process begins before you even spend any money. You have to act deliberately. We must all practice resource management. Who and what you give your money to and your time to is everything. And that's the reason why you hear me constantly complaining about Black folks' habits when it comes to sports and entertainment, which is the same thing. As Black people, we are hideously oversampled when it comes to the entertainment that we consume, especially when it comes to comedies. As Black people, not a doggone thing's funny, and yet we're trying to find some way to laugh regardless. And these are the things that Black people have chosen to spend their money on. When you give away your money, you're also giving away your power too. Some people are trying to make themselves feel better about a lot of the changes that the Black grassroots are demanding by saying, well, we can't be making no kinds of changes and we shouldn't be doing nothing different after all. The enemy is coming at us now. Weezus under attack. We've been getting attacked the entire time. The only difference is that now people are forced to have to face it. People are being put in a position where they may actually have to fight back, and a lot of folks don't want to. They want to keep on doing what they've been doing. See, that's one of the loopholes in human psychology. Most people are able to adapt, and that's humanity's strongest trait, that we can adapt to things. But the bad part of it is, on the flip side, you can become adapted to oppressive circumstances, which means you take that as being normal when it's not. But if you allow other people to shame you into acting against your own best interest, before long, you will have abandoned the truth of the reality of the world you live in, and you will have taken up a false narrative that they handed to you. Time to take the narrative back. The 2020 uprisings was the last time that Democrats had any political momentum, but how did they repay Black people who took to the streets? Black people were the ones who made the thugs in blue take the knee, and the Democrats, at least for a little bit, pretended as if they were down with the struggle. At least they tried to tiptoe around the edges, make a couple of insincere noises as if that's what they meant. But as soon as Biden was declared the winner, the Democrats immediately reverted to type and began saying, stop sloganeering, sloganeering kills. That slogan, defund the police, that cost us elections. Now, they told this lie after an election where they had won. Republicans have been spending most of that year predicting that the Democrats would be utterly crushed in the 2020 elections. They repeated the tired, stale mantras about law and order, and we need the police to enforce white privilege. Oh, look at the property damage. Oh, America's going down the drain. It's the apocalypse because Black people are fighting back. They brought back all the golden oldies. And what happened when it came election day? Democrats blew the Republicans away. All of that so-called property damage didn't matter to the voters because people were understanding why this stuff was happening. That's what happens when you reclaim the narrative. When the police are on their knees and people recognize the police as the oppressors, they're not going to look at you and say you're wrong, but that only happens if you are bold in speaking the truth. Keep in mind, it was a Democrat DA who had refused to prosecute Derek Chauvin, and when the uprisings began, that scumbag was forced to flee town. That scared the Republicans. The truth is, it also scared the Democrats too. In fact, it scared the Democrats more because it showed them exactly what that base could do if that base felt that voting was irrelevant and didn't make a difference and didn't matter anymore. The kinds of shills, tethers, bootlicks, and hangers-on who don't like it when we withheld our vote are also angry because they're afraid we're going to start withholding our money next. They don't want this to become habit-forming. If we get on code for one thing, then what's to stop us from getting on code for everything? One of my little sayings that I like to repeat from time to time is that if you want people to like you, then just go ahead and say yes to everything. Go ahead and be their doormat and say yes, and people will pretend to like you. But if you want to be respected, you better start learning to say no. If we start telling these politicians that we require something tangible in exchange for our vote, then what's to stop us from telling all these other folks who have been getting money from us that we require something in exchange for our business too? Nothing happens in a vacuum under white supremacy, and that includes our political and economic activity as well, which are nothing more than flip sides of the same coin. The reason that people get angry with us whenever they see these acts of self-determination is because it's been decades since we've actually put forward some sort of resistance to the narrative that we went along with. This time, though, that resistance didn't come from political operatives who were planted amongst us. This time it came from us, from within. We're finally becoming politically mature again to the point that we stopped asking permission to put our foot down. The only way to get mistreatment of any type to stop is to confront the people doing it. Ignoring abuse will never make it go away. And we don't need everyone on board in order to get the ball rolling either. Reparations didn't become a real political issue overnight or by having most Black people on board with it. It came about by having enough of the right Black people on board. Changing a culture is what we're doing. We all have a part to play in making this change, and you can start right where you are. Start by seeking out Black businesses to spend your money with, and stop relying on the excuses to not do so. If someone's shop doesn't have the newest and fanciest amenities or what have you ever considered the fact that maybe it's because they don't have enough Black people doing business there? We love to be proud of Black businesses that thrive, but success is never accidental. It's deliberate and intentional. Success is also a habit. When you practice patronizing people who never patronize you, then you're practicing dysfunction. And when you practice making excuses to spend money with everyone except for Black people, then you're practicing self-defeat. Black people have allowed ourselves to become conditioned to demand standards from other Black people that we never demand of people who will shoot a Black child simply for having entered their store, or who will use the money that we give them to keep killer cops from going to prison, or to fund anti-Black organizations and zealots, and to prop up tethers, bootlicks, and sellouts who will then run for political office so that they can fight against our interests every single day. We all recognize the necessity to stop the self-sabotage, and that process begins by no longer allowing others to bribe us with our own money. That's the reason why what you do is so important. Don't ever let anyone try to demoralize you by saying, well, you're just one person. Well, it's just me. No, it's not just you. Don't let anyone ever talk you into buying into a narrative of helplessness. When you decide that you're going to take it upon yourself to tell your story, you'll also find that you've taken the power to change it too. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Jerlene Harris, Pamela Hyman, Wesley Monroe, Keith B., and Starlet Thompson. Salute to them, and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
All right, Shabaka, what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, once again, man, the professor is dropping undisputed truth. You know what I mean? You know, he's heavy. And he is right that Black empowerment only happens because of you. Okay, us as a collective. You see what I mean? You know, this is why it's very, very essential for us to quit all this infighting amongst ourselves. You see what I'm saying? And this is why, because we all we got. You see, we all we got. All these other groups out here, man, want to see us crash and burn. You see what I mean? And they capitalize off of that. Just like the sister you had told me about, man, where they took her ovaries, man, and I'm sorry?
Her name is Henrietta Lacks. Her name
Yeah,
was.
exactly. Yeah, that was her name. Okay, just like young man they did down there, man. The 15-year-old they found wrapped up in the carpet, man, down there in Florida, man. All his internal organs is gone.
Not Florida, Shabaka, Texas, and it was Kendrick Johnston.
Yes, sir. Okay, I stand corrected. Okay, just like how with the melanin, you know what I'm saying? What is it? $600 a gram, I think. So times that, you know, to get.
In 2019, it was $450 a gram.
Damn. So looking at it now, man, you know, a few years later, man, it's probably well over $600 a gram. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like they're taking our organs, our body parts. That's why when you go out there and they ask you on your driver's license, you want to be a organ donor, put down no. You see what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, man, because, you know, you got a whole lot of these Frankensteins out here, man. You know what I'm saying? As in Dr. Frankenstein, they say that's capitalizing off of that. That's diabolical. That's not science. That's mad science. You see what I mean? Just like our sister was talking about Yaku. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
That's
Somebody brought up some crack-ass city council brought up Yakub earlier, Shabaka.
Really?
But, yeah. So controlling the narrative. So the new black media controls the narrative now. And that means controlling our dollars. So
yeah, and this is why, you know, they keep throwing monkey wrenches in our works. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why do you think, man, you know, when we come on, man, you know what I mean? Oh, no, man, well, you know, something went wrong and all that old type of shit. Now, if these individuals would go out here and blow up cell phones, man, what the hell makes you think, man, they can't blow up these damn computers?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See what I mean? And then, of course, all the science, technology, and stuff like that they steal from us. They say. And then, you know, when I do go over here to Los Angeles, I am going to try to go over there to the Hidden History Museum. You know, might do a live feed from it, you know, and what have you. And then on top of it as well, too, is that, you know, the sciences that we gave the world. You see what I mean? You know, this is why we need ASHWA, man. We definitely need ASHWA. And Dr. Kwesi, if you hear us out there, man, please get with us, Dr. Kwesi. We would love to have you. And then, Dr. Kwesi, anything you're trying to market, I'm sure Brother Che will agree with me, man, is that we'll be happy to have it up here for you, man, for your compensation, because we know that you are busy and appreciate, you know, the knowledge that he had dropped. You see what I'm saying? And then just like you said, Brother Che, which you're right, this is why, you know, those of the Caucasian persuasion, you know, realize that they're running out, you know, that they're about to be at zero population growth. So they figure they come get with us, you know what I mean? You know, and figure, well, you know, at least, you know, I got the whitey right there, and this is why I like dumb bunnies like Sarge. And yes, Sarge, I'm talking about you. And you want to sit up there and argue about the origin of the damn bumblebee. Well, man, you know, I wouldn't exist here without them. Go knock on there to your white relative's door. Tell them that you're there for reparations, and watch how much of a nigga they're going to call you.
Yep. All right, so continue to stay on code, Black family. We control the narrative down, and that's going to translate into us controlling our dollars.
Yeah, and it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle. But I believe the degree of the incline went from 60 degrees to 45 degrees now. Is because, you know, the mega raggers, you know what I'm saying, the dumpsters and what have you, they state how they honestly feel. So, you know, the fantasy is over, you know, no more falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I mean? They're telling you how they honestly feel, just like that video we did there, Brother Che, you know what I'm saying? Where the dumpsters got out there in Orlando by Disneyland, by Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Damn, you niggas gonna get up out of here, blah, 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 blah. and all this old type of stuff. You know, you came here and ruined our country. Came here, ruined your country, motherfuckers. You brought us here. You see what I'm saying? According to Brother Chad, you know, we had circumnavigated the globe.
Uh-oh. What happened? Shabaka? Shabaka? Can't hear you, Shabaka. Shabaka? All right, I guess I'll move to the next topic.
Gentlemen, I'm going to sign out here from Sin City. And guess what? The temperature is getting warm. Hey, Joe Gibson, come sit out here in the sun with me, man, in the next couple of months. You know what I mean? And then the other ones right there, you know what I'm saying? You know, who call me all kind of NGRs, black SOBs and all that. Yeah, come sit out here in the sun. And you got to leave your sunscreen at home. You know what I'm saying? And I'll appreciate the melanin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Brother Chuck.
Except from cave dwellers. All right, thank you for joining me, Shabaka.
Okay, and then too, we still got to set up the show for Tuesday. I'm going to try to do that, you know, here on StreamYard for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We need help with it because I honestly believe that we're only going to have like about 3 to 6 more episodes left, okay, of the small investment that we made. So we need a return on it, you know, to keep it going, you know. Yeah. And then also, too, please donate to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced through Jesse Paris. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, because we've been doing this here for a lot of years now, and we're just as qualified, you know, as these other ones are.
Ciao, Jab.
Hey, Jab Jamboree, how you be? How you be, Jab Jamboree? Okay, yeah. Hopefully, man, you know, you kick it with Brother Che, man, because I got to hang it up, man. You know, I'm one of them old dudes, man. It's time for my nap. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And don't laugh, Sonny. You live long enough to be old too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Okay. And then I'm sorry that Crew and I fell out. You know what I mean? But he's the one that told me that don't say nothing to him, so I'm not. You know, when a man say don't say nothing to him, I respect that. All right, folks, I'm out from Sin City. Okay.
All right. Have a good night, Shabaka. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Experience Enhanced.
Yes, sir, and thank you for having me. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, so moving along, we got Charleston White, who was proven to be a snitch when he was 16. And is apparently still snitching now, or allegedly snitching now. Breaking news: Charleston White, I put the feds on BRICC baby and resurfaced video. This is from Street Media TV. Shout out to Street Media TV. They're gonna give us an update on.
You know, Charleston White is at it again, up to his antics. You know, Charleston White is known for telling the gangsters that he's snitching. You know, he came out and just declared war on all the gangs, and he does a lot of things that people don't like. Now, we know that he did a lot of community stuff over there in Fort Worth, was doing things, but a lot of people on YouTube don't like him because he goes after the gangs. You know, he does stuff to bring them out, right? He does stuff to smoke them out. They get mad at him and start threatening them online. He calls the police on them. He does videos saying, hey, I got such and such arrested, or I called the feds on such and such. He even made a video where he was saying F the baby after little Ronnie and his daughter was unalive, right? He even made that. That was horrible. Yeah. I vehemently disagreed with that, right? But he made it nonetheless. But now he's saying, he's saying that, and he said it before. He called the police on BRICC Baby. He was the one that got BRICC Baby locked up. Now remember, BRICC Baby did a video saying that he had 10K on Charleston White's head while he was in Houston, right? But let's listen to Charleston and what he was saying about BRICC Baby. Check this out.
I told y'all, I'm the one that put the feds on BRICC Baby. I keep telling you, y'all niggas think I be playing. When BRICC Baby went to Houston and was playing on the internet and put that $10,000 stack on his head.
Yeah, man. In Houston, man. And I got a diamond on Charleston White head.
And indirectly said, hey, I got some money on Charleston head. And he continued to act like he was pursuing me. I made a federal report. First, I called Houston and made the report to Houston, but I did this through my law enforcement friend. So, not only that, we filed a report with the feds in LA, along with the LA County Police. I swear to God.
Wow.
I'm telling you the honest to God truth, this is what I did.
Oh my God.
So as a self-proclaimed gang leader, a gang member who has ties to one of the most notorious gangs in this state, in this country, he's now going around telling all the gang information. They see the feds see he got a loose lip, so he may give up some information. So I swear to God, I told y'all all I wanted was a badge. I got a badge now.
But we straight up police.
I don't know. I got a badge. I got a whole.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Special police. With the clip on the back of it and everything. Whistle and everything. And I got the guns and everything. So y'all think I went and joined. And I don't get number perks and rewards. I don't get no money. I'm not on the police payroll. All this is voluntary. You can become a voluntary police.
But see, Charleston White is telling y'all in the videos, I don't have to say nothing. You doing it to yourself. I'm not making you come on here and respond to me. How come you just don't ignore me? But you have to be seen. You have to clout chase. He's telling you, I'm clout chasing. I created a character. I'm clout chasing. I'm doing whatever I got to do to smoke y'all out. And y'all fools come right out and respond to him. Remember Charleston said this?
BRICC Baby.
By the way, when BRICC Baby put that $10,000 on his head, I didn't have to say nothing. The district attorney's office immediately sent that video to the California Bureau of Investigation. They immediately sent that to, I didn't have to say nothing. I didn't have to call no BRICC Baby, put his own self into this FBI by jumping online. And then he said, I'm in Houston. So what did they do now? Contact the people in Houston? Because that's where he made you can't, come on, homie, they playing online. They playing gangster. They playing gangster online. What the have to call? No, they act as if these people are not watching. I said, man, what? And this is what I would read. They said, listen, what? You can't go undo that, BRICC. You can't undo that, BRICC Baby. You can't come back and say I was just playing and oh, that's just a misdemeanor. The Officer Dabney words was no, that's not a misdemeanor.
Wow.
Detective Dabney, I ain't gonna say Officer Dabney, Detective Dabney. No, that's not a misdemeanor.
Yeah, he responded after you came out with your video, and he was just saying that, is this a joke? How you joke around? He was joking around.
I'm not joking with gang members. There's nothing I joke around with about gang members. I'm dead serious. All gang members in jail talk. I'm dead serious. I told them last year when I first got into it with Mob James, I'm willing to work with the FBI to get. I told Mob James them that. Wow. And Mob James said, well, I'm willing to work with the police to bring you. Why would you joke and play with me? I ain't playing with y'all. No. It says Atlanta police detectives want me to give you a message. Call me when you get this message if possible before noon. A message from Detective Dabney and other officers assisting him. Blood gang member arrested this morning, wanted for shootings and murder. His gang name is Lil Ghost. He was picked up at 5 a.m. this morning, and the story will be on the news at 12 p.m. in Atlanta and all other news outlets today. He's been on the run for over a year, and they got him. Hold on. The detectives, listen to this. The detectives want Flo Malcolm to know he's on his ass. He has several warrants, and not just for 3 serious crimes.
Wow.
Let me go on and keep reading. It says, good job, Charleston. Mr. Bannister will not be rapping anymore. From Detective Dabney, he said he won't be rapping anymore, and they sent me some of his music on Apple Music. Man, these are lovely detectives. These are the same detectives that worked on Young Thug and put the handcuffs on Young Thug ass. It said that they trying to go private. This little nigga tried to go private to hide, but it didn't work. Once you upload, you try to go private all you want to, homie, it don't work. Hold on. It says, once you're free, I'm going to call him and to give you full updates. So they update me daily. He's training others in Chicago all day, but he free, he said. So I talked to him this morning. I just got this one in just now. Soulja Boy has been advised to silence by his attorneys. However, it's too late. He's part of the report. You can't make threats online and try to hide them. The cyber division has access to all of that along with Homeland Security.
Wow.
Donald Bannister, AKA Lil Ghost. They all know you, all those police agencies he mentioned. This is a proud moment, Charleston. Man, it's people, they really go online and bully somebody and say, you can't come to this state. Man, that rubs some people the wrong way. And this is what they told me about Soulja Boy. Since Soulja Boy want to be a Fruittown, Compton, Piru so bad, he's being entered into the database as one.
Stupid.
Now watch how this affects him. And they hoping that they can find ways to tie him into harboring a fugitive, Flo Malcolm, and anybody else around him. You notice, y'all now, homie, they real law-abiding citizens who ain't scared of the gangs, who ain't scared of the killers, who ain't scared of who ain't scared of nothing but God.
Now, I'm gonna say this, right? I never in my life seen people claim to be so-called gangsters and street guys, but you come online and tell all your business.
Right.
I mean, you go on Adam 22, you tell all of your business. You go on Blacc TV, you tell all of your business. All of these different podcasts and shows they have, you go on there and you just talk about street activity, but then you get mad and you blame Vlad, you blame Adam, you blame all these other people. No, you can't blame nobody but yourself. Nobody making you talk about street activities.
Right.
I mean, BRICC Baby and all them, they claiming to be part of gangs and they talking about street activity, loose cannon, all of them. Charleston White come right out here, he antagonizes them all. He goes at them all, right? I mean, he was even going after the OG gangsters, right? And my thing is this, if you are in a gang, you shouldn't be on the camera at all.
Right.
At all, especially if you're already in the gang database.
Right.
What you on camera for? Why are you talking about anything that go on camera? We saw Big U. Big U telling people to check in. He doing it on camera. So now that the police got you, right? They can pull that right up. Charleston White holds a mirror up to the community to show you your dysfunction. A lot of y'all get upset with me because you think that I'm defending Charleston. I'm not defending Charleston. I'm showing that the community is the reason that a Charleston White exists in the first place, because you celebrate an unaliving culture. You celebrate a culture that causes people's demise. We normalize it. We think it's cool. We think it's decent. So Charleston emulates it on camera. And then you don't like it when you see Charleston do it, but you support all the other stuff that come with it. So you create the atmosphere for Charleston White to exist. I've been saying that all the time. When I was talking about my Real N-Word series, you love real N-words and bad B's and all that kind of stuff. You love promoting that culture. But when Charleston White promoted, now all of a sudden you got a problem with it. No, Charleston exists because you like the underbelly culture. So he talked about really going after BRICC Baby, called BRICC Baby out, and exposed BRICC Baby. And he's the one saying he put the feds on BRICC Baby. You see him come out, he says he's an honorary police officer, man. I don't know, man. Listen, if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Make sure you guys hit that like button for these videos to go out into the algorithm.
Yeah,
make sure you leave a comment in the comment section, right?
I thank you, Street Media TV. So yeah, I can't even say he's snitching on them, and they snitching on themselves, and he's just sharing the information that these mothers is spitting online. By be careful what you say on these damn platforms, like especially going on damn Vlad and Adam 2022 or Adam 22. Like, why would you be discussing any of that business with these known Asians? Everybody that goes on these shows ends up locked up or dead. So yeah, definitely take that as a lesson learned. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it, or you'll end up like BRICC Baby and Big U. Don't do it. Don't do it, cuz don't do it. And moving on, we got Willie D. Willie D is gives his reaction to Malik Yoba, saying that he no longer identifies as a black man. Wow. Where is that damn video at? Just had it. Here it is. Which one that wouldn't be let's make that one over.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Actor Malik Yoba has a message. He no longer identifies as a black man or a person of color. So, what does Malik identify as?
Yep. Yeah, he been snitching since the 90s.
A non-white man.
You're right, Leonard. Yep, he sure has.
Are y'all picking up what he's putting down? Anybody feeling that? Are you picking up what he's putting down? I picked up what he put down, fam. What Malik is trying to say is this administration, this Trump administration, has rallied white folks to come together against everybody else. And that the only way the rest of us individuals stand a chance is to consolidate our individual powers and make a collective effort to get what we want and what we need out of this administration and out of this country. I can dig that, man. And they're way too smart. You know, they know how to message. They know how to run the propaganda machine. The moment they see us clicking up, they're going to start giving a little something to this side. They're going to, first of all, identify the leaders. Let's see who the leaders are. The first thing they're going to do is try to flip the leaders. If they can't flip the leaders, they are going to discredit the leaders. If they can't discredit the leaders, they're going to try to cripple them financially. What do I mean by that? They're going to, number one, find out where they're getting their money from. If they're getting it from a job, they're going to make it hard on the company. They might contact the company and say, yo, you need to get rid of him. You know, we're going to start looking at your paperwork. We're going to go up on your taxes. You know, something. We're going to make it hard for you to get supplies. These are things they do. Next thing you know, you get a call and they cancel that contract.
Yeah, just fucking with them trains.
You get a call and they just cancel you. That's the way it goes. If you are self-employed, they find out who your vendors are and they threaten your vendors. So the name of the game is to try to cripple you. If they can cripple you financially, if they can discredit you, cripple you financially, nobody want to work with you, nobody want to do business with you, nobody want to interview you, talk to you, amen. Life can be very hard. Also, if you got kids, they make it hard on your kids to go to school. Yeah, they get at the principal or the teachers or somebody in administration, and then they just make it hard on your kids. You know, they get at the other kids, incentivize the other kids. Yeah. Click up with the parents. Man, it's a cold game. It's a rabbit hole, man. You don't really want to understand. You really don't want to understand this rabbit hole, man, because it go deep. So Malik has been known to say some inflammatory things over the years, some wild, outlandish things. Totally outlandish things, but he's right on this one.
I disagree.
He's right on this one. And every day, these uncivilized mutts who push that agenda take it a little further. Every day, they're dialing the hand back on another social or political advancement. And guess what, family? It's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Man, it's like they can't run out of things to do. That 2025 agenda is real. Anybody care to go back and look at it? They pretty much reading from the playbook.
Yeah, he's scared of the
2025 agenda is the playbook. And they going down the list, checking off the boxes.
Yeah, he's a coward.
One at a time.
But
there is hope, fam. There is
I never
hope.
thought I would say that about Willie D, but
Just remember, we've survived far worse. We've actually survived presidents who actually were slave owners. Think about what I'm saying. Think about the magnitude of that. We've survived presidents who were slave owners.
Yeah.
We've survived Jim Crow. Redlining, and redlining still goes on to a degree to this day. But we've survived far worse, and we'll survive this. And keep in mind, you don't take off 4 to 8 years just because a guy's in office who you don't like. You know they didn't take off 4 to 8 years. They didn't take off 8 years when Obama was in. They didn't take off 4 years when Biden was in. They never take off. They constantly are going to get what they feel they deserve. And you should do the same thing. There is absolutely not a man made a woman who can stop me from getting mine. To me, that's weak. I mean, that's weak. I can see, you know, like it's okay to, you know, to feel that things ain't going your way and you feel a little down or whatever, but man, he might even want to complain, but after you complain, do something about it. Let's go back to Malik's original statement of being a non-white man. I know that was a tongue-in-cheek statement, but I'm not saying it. I'm never gonna say it just to please somebody else or to make any type of point. Oh no, Oh no, I'm never gonna say it to make somebody comfortable.
Right.
I am a black man through and through. Yeah. I am unapologetically, conspicuously, enthusiastically, gratefully, magically, a black man. Why, oh, why would I ever deny this beautiful melanin skin? Woo! Talk about black magic.
You gonna throw a black fist up after you done told us to go vote for Kamala Harris? And, let me see if I can find where he said that stupid shit. Stupid ass Breakfast Club.
Okay, so real quick, I wanted to go back to the last news update that we did. You had asked a question, Envy, about Busby and why he was moving the way he's moving around this one particular case.
Yep.
That last Diddy case where he was. Let's take a listen to what Malik Yoba said.
I decided that I'm no longer a black man, no longer a person of color, BIPOC, none of that.
Agreed.
What I am is a non-white man. And I think we should all just start calling ourselves non-white. So they're gonna have to figure it out. We'll just say that explicitly. No DEI, no BIPOC, no references to our blackness. I'm a non-white woman. I'm a non-white, all of us. Asians, Latinos, black people, everybody. Call it what it is. I'm just non-white. And let them rebuke that. Let them refute it. Let them come up with something that just says, we like all non-whites. Excuse me, we don't like all non-whites.
Did he say I'm an all-white woman?
He said I'm a non-white woman.
He basically is saying, instead of saying I'm a black man, just say I'm a non-white man. Instead of saying I'm a black woman, I'm a non-white woman.
And this is a movement that he's trying to start.
Amen.
To get what exactly?
I remember the last movement he tried to start.
Exactly. That's just stupid as fuck. Like, that's all I want to just play on that. That shit is stupid as hell. Like, just identify it as, but like you said, Leonard, like that dude's a weirdo anyway, so fuck him. And he's trying to start this dumbass movement, like, nah. Nah. Is he even FBA? Nah, he's a damn tether too. If I'm not mistaken, Lee Yoba is not FBA. So yeah, he definitely has no credibility. And he fucking with them trannies. No, big pass. Pass on all that dumb shit. Exactly, Leonard. Say he hella dumb trying to trick us into exalting his master. Exactly. Yeah, when I seen that shit the first time, I was like, what? I'm gonna identify as a non-white. No, nigga, you black. Be happy with that. All right, so moving along, we got these goddamn Democrats. Democrats are still up to their old tricks. Democrat op says FBAs are illegal immigrants too. No, the fuck we not. We're not illegal immigrants. We're not immigrants at all. And must protest ICE deportations. No, the hell we don't. We ain't got to protest a damn thing. Especially those damn ICE deportations. From my original cue I had over there. That's one, you know. This one rather. something else, son. Please bear with me. Man, these people out there rabbit ass minds. Getting close to. And what the hell is this Johnson at? I was just watching it too.
Excellence. Plus 2 concerts featuring Tidra Moses, Talib Kweli, and Jay Rawls, the one and only Marsha Ambrosius, and more. Experience the African diaspora at its
This is gonna give us an update on this.
OhioBlackExpo.com for tickets, updates, and more. Visit OhioBlackExpo.com. That's OhioBlackExpo.com.
Hey, Miss Vicky Dillon for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Family, as you come in, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and share this broadcast. We ask that you do that because it makes it more likely that other folks will receive notifications so that we will know so that they will know that we're here. And how many of you all know that is so very important, because we are the counter voice to the establishment and mainstream media apparatus. Yes, and they have a vast multi-billion-dollar and frankly trillions of dollars over the years, and they have many decades and even centuries ahead of us in multiple forms of media. So when you share, beloved, you are strengthening our global Black voice. Yes, and for that we say thank you so much, family. I won't be long, but I will be strong. Now look, today I said, look, I'm not fixing to be I'm not pulling out a whole bunch of professorial books, scholastic things. I'm gonna let the footage speak for itself today. Yes, family, y'all know I can be a Vicky and bam my gavel, beloved, but at the same, and I can be, very scholarly and academic, but I really want to keep things simple today, and I'm gonna explain to you why on the other side of a couple of these clips. Now, I want you to watch this brief clip here, and this was going to be really a part of a series that we're going to do. Now, why are we bringing this up? The purpose of us highlighting so much that's going on with the immigrant crisis here in the United States is because we're trying to get you all to see that it's not just about individual people from foreign lands. It's about an agenda to undermine and to destroy foundational Black Americans. Do you understand that? Under the guise of helping other folks. That's what we need you to focus on. That's the point you don't want to miss. Of course, there are many moving parts, because whenever you're dealing with billions and trillions of dollars and millions of people from different parts of the world, you better believe that there are going to be a whole lot of interest in this stuff from folks like BlackRock to media organizations and so many others. Yes. So I don't want you to miss that political parties and all that kind of stuff. As we've proven here on this network in no limit of time, that's a major issue. Yes. I'm going to break something down just very briefly, but I want the video today to speak for itself, and I don't want you to miss it. Now, this first clip, beloved, is from this Black man that wants us to confuse his Blackness with being one of us. Now, this man has found to actually be an op. Did you hear what I said? He is an op. He is... And I'm told directly from sources on the ground in Chicago that he is a certified saboteur. Now, you will be out of your mind in the upcoming weeks and days to miss the beginning of the broadcast, family. Y'all know we be breaking juicy news here, baby. And so in a few days, I'm going to have some information for you. I'm here live Tuesday through Thursday. So be sure, don't miss it. Tuesday through Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I also do other commentary, family. We got a beautiful array of broadcasters from the United States and around the world. So you just want to go through the content, watch it, support me, and support my other colleagues. Yes? Now, family, this footage is from one of the Chicago city hall meetings, city council meetings, excuse me. Now, you all know there that the Black Chicagoans, the Foundation of Black Americans, also known as the FBAs there, among other terms that we use, freedmen and so forth and so forth and so on. They're on the ground and they're extremely active there. Yes. And I have done an exclusive interview recently on my channel at BRICC with one of those ground soldiers, Miss Jessica Jackson. Now, this is not her, honestly, in this video, because I got a couple sources. Talk Black to somebody. Y'all know how we doing stuff. I just want to throw that out there.
Chicago Red.
I said Mississippi coming out of me. I like to be silly sometimes. I hope that's okay with you, family. But I want you to watch this clip that I was given from one of our soldiers on the ground there of them in a meeting, y'all, that took place not too long ago in a city council meeting about the immigration crisis. Now, mind you, this was right before Chicago's mayor, as well as one of the mayors here in Colorado and a couple of other cities were summoned to Washington, D.C. for a congressional hearing, yes, about these so-called sanctuary cities. I want y'all to get ready to watch this first clip of this Black looking up, this saboteur, this Democrat plant. I'm going to explain to you why I said that more on the other side of the clip. I want you to watch this clip. Listen closely to what he says, family. I want you to listen closely because it's footage from our people on the ground. So they're going to give us the real footage. It's not cleaned up because they want you to see what's really going on, okay? So listen very closely, okay? Watch this clip.
My name is Chicago. I'm the leader of the RevCon Corps for the Emancipation of Humanity here in Chicago. We're calling on all of the decent people to say no. In the name of
Look at this. Look at this.
To accept a fascist America.
Look at this.
Stop Trump MAGA fascist program.
See, look at this.
Saying no to mass deportation.
Look at this, y'all.
Total illegales. We are all illegals.
We know illegal. We not illegal.
Fascism, yes. Fascism is being inaugurated next week. Trump, and their local lackeys like Raymond Lopez and Tavares are collaborators with this fascism. I want to make an example out of this sanctuary.
We're not illegal, homie, right?
Battering ram for what? For massive roundups and deportations.
I'm gonna help them too.
They stopped his time.
All of the decent people who want to see an end to this oppression, to this madness, who don't want to see our immigrant brothers and sisters who have been forced to come here from all over the world, be rounded up and hauled off, and families destroyed because of that, need to stand up.
Oh,
Flood the streets. January 20th, 21st, saying no, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. They want to make an example out of Chicago.
They're going to. They're going to, and we're going to help.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We're going to help.
To make Chicago an example.
We will.
People finding their courage and their backbone.
It's going
standing up with collective action and
self-sacrifice. But you got to look at it, y'all.
The goal and aim of defeating this fascism.
You got to look at it, y'all. This is the Black Democrat Party.
For everybody in the room today, particularly all of the bootlickers and MAGA Trump supporters here.
Trump!
Latinos in Chicago who are caught up.
Insult from 2024.
I'm gonna help them get you out of here. We're gonna help them get you out.
Wake up and get off of that garbage.
We're gonna help you.
That's a point.
Ice, baby. Tom Holman. Tom Holman.
Family, did you all hear that? Family. Family. Do not miss. I'll let you know in a few days. I'm going to expose this brother with receipts. And family, y'all know when we do the exclusives here on African Diaspora News channel. Yes. We known for that, baby. Don't get it twisted. I got some juicy, yummy footage where we're going to expose this guy. And when y'all see who he's directly connected to, y'all going to scream and holler. I ain't trying to mess up nothing. So don't you miss in the upcoming days. Yes. And you'll know it's part 2. But just know he has been connected, among other things. I got some more juicy stuff. I'm going to give you one little juicy bit. There's a group on the ground there that's known as REVCO in Chicago. Somebody say, give us the receipts, Mickey. I'm giving you the names. This gentleman is a part of the foot soldiers from the tethered immigrant class. Now, I don't know to use that term, but I'm letting you all know that's who his connection is directly, and we got the receipts. So he's with a whole other organization. The FBAs on the ground have busted him in times past as being one of the ones that was putting up these signs about foreigners and immigrants and all this other kind of stuff in other locations for other things. Y'all look, I'm about to bust. I'm trying to just shut up because it's going to be better when I give y'all the receipts. So family, this is an op that they infiltrated. Now the question you need to ask yourself, y'all heard other foundational Black Americans in the background and filling that venue saying what?
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African
location for other things. Y'all look, I'm about to bust. I'm trying to just shut up because it's going to be better when I give y'all the receipts. So family, this is an op that they infiltrated. Now the question you need to ask yourself, y'all heard other foundational Black Americans in the background and filling that venue saying what? He sat up there with a straight face and said foundational Black Americans, us. He said, we're illegal immigrants.
Come to Colorado.
I need somebody in the chat to say
what's up. Motherfuckers up out of here. I was one of the main ones. Come on, Tom Holman, come on. Enough is enough of this shit.
Somebody say what? Family, you cannot respond to that with a regular, what did he say? No, that's not called for. Your demeanor cannot be normal for such an abnormal and outrageous comment. If you sit up there saying, what did he say? Baby, something wrong with you. Your body, the inflection of your voice, the decibels in which the volume goes to, if I even saying the right words right there, y'all, you can't be normal with that. Because what he said was so abnormal. Talk black to me, somebody. I said, talk black to me, somebody. His funny looking self had the nerve to say, we who created the United States of America, built the United States of America, built its infrastructure, worked its grounds, worked its lands, died, suffered, and bled. He said, we're illegals.
Oh my God.
Too.
The audacity.
Did y'all hear that? Then he had the nerve
and the generosity
to say that the illegals, the criminals that violated law to get here, are our brothers and sisters.
Hell no.
He didn't stop there. He said, we need to help stop the deportations. We need to be against the deportations.
No. Hell no.
Family. He was dressed. Y'all see how he was dressed, don't you?
Yeah.
He had a real strong beard. Can't see nothing. His face, no skin, could hardly see. He had them glasses on. He had that hat and stuff. And you could tell he was trying to work real hard to look the part, which he don't look nothing like us. Because the first thing we know, if you're one of us, and we're talking about your energy, your spirit. This is the reason why when folks first started saying, like, for example, Kamala Harris is not black, before they started digging into her past and started to connect her with the Brahmin Indian heritage and all that stuff, and went through all the rivers and through the woods, the first thing black folks were saying was not that she wasn't black because she don't have no melanin. Y'all know we say that to people that's got the blackest of black skin in the United States.
No, he ain't one of us, right?
We'll tell you, you ain't black. That's a phrase that we use when your energy and your vibration is off. When you are not for things that you know are just and right for black folks, we will always tell somebody amongst us that we know darn well was born and raised in the dirty South, mom and daddy went through Jim Crow slavery, can prove to no limit of time. We'll tell that person that they not black if they not about that life of justice for us. Stop playing dumb. So his energy is off. And then he's sitting up there with a little piece of paper, sitting up there trying to, use, was it Latin phrases and stuff?
Yeah.
to say whatever phrase. I don't even know what language he was using. He went to use some phrase to say we all illegal immigrants. You got to be out of your mind. That is highly disrespectful, family. And this is when y'all like to say we're being divisive when we draw those distinctions. When you do dumb stuff like that, say oppie stuff like that. When you are proving yourself to be a saboteur with that statement, you're saying that our sacrifice for this country is worth nothing. You're telling us to get over it and shut up. And we can't do that. Now, I'm going to bring up something here. When I was talking about one of my sisters that's on the ground, there are several. But I'm talking about my most recent interview with the wonderful sister Jessica Jackson that I had on my channel. One of the things that she and I discussed, which I thought was a brilliant point, that she brought up in the process of our interview. And I want to remind you of this now. I'm going to take it. I said I was going to go deep. I'm not. I promise you. I'm not going to do no bunch of articles and all that because I got another video I want you to see in just a second. But one of the things I want to remind this funny looking op, this plant that's trying to supplant our just and righteous reparations demand. When he said we was all illegal immigrants. No, baby. We're not all illegal immigrants. And notice he didn't say we was all immigrants, y'all. Did y'all notice that, family? I wish I could see the chat, but I got to read something to you real quick because I want to remind y'all of something too. He said we were all illegal immigrants, right? Watch this. The devil is crazy. The real devil is crazy. How many of us know, and I'm just getting the general reading here from an online encyclopedia, slavery was legal in the United States, particularly in the South, from its founding in 1776 until the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865, which abolished it except as punishment for a crime. Mr. Tether from Revco and another place that we getting ready to bust you and expose you for in a little bit. And give me a few days, family, for that footage. Y'all know it's got to be right. I just can't run my mouth with just talking. It's going to be powerful about talking, but I want y'all to see the receipts that we got on him as a part two. When he says that we, Black Americans, those of us, there was some of our native family that was already here, but a lot of us were brought from the continent of Africa, right? Even those of us that was brought from the continent of Africa, how many of y'all know slavery was legal? Legal is not the same as right. Legal is not the same as just. Legal is not the same as whether something is civilized. But we were legal in slavery. Somebody put some cavils in the chat. Somebody put some hammers in the chat. You gotta be out of your mind. For us, baby, it was in the Constitution and part of the founding of this country. The section that says legal status. In the early years of the United States, slavery was a legal institution, particularly in the southern states where it was deeply intertwined with the economy and social structures. Don't play with us. I said, don't you play with us. From its founding in 1776. You better not never fix your lips to disrespect our ancestors, to throw us in the same boat so that you can ignore our issues. It's not because we think we better. It's not because we don't want to associate with other Black people. No, you want to throw us in the same group with you so that our needs go unmet and we ain't having it. You want us to blend in so that you can get all the tangibles. You can keep getting the billions of dollars and the other benefits that we bled for while we get nothing. Yep. We knew it was a matter of law. Why? Because the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution was ratified in what? 1865. Somebody give him these receipts. Which formally abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. And how many of you all know we think that's still diabolical, that slavery is still an institution in the United States, even as a punishment for crime? Because that's why they create certain crimes so they can trap you in their system. And that's another story, but I'm just making it clear. You better not ever fix your lips to say that. There are many other technical reasons that we can prove why we're not illegal immigrants, but I'm trying to keep it real technical. Since y'all want to go legal, don't play with me, baby. Slavery was And we ain't gonna let you forget it. I gotta get ready to go in a few minutes. If the team would get ready to do me a favor, I want y'all to get ready to, for me to play this second clip. I'm gonna keep it short today, baby. I told you I'm not gonna go be putting out big books today, 300, 400 page books, 200 page books. Watch this. I want us to get ready to play this video because in a few days, not yet, but in a few days, when I do part 2 for this, I'm going to connect the dots with who this person that you're getting ready to see, at least the congressional group he's connected to, we're gonna expose. Watch this next clip, family.
Being an immigrant to this country, and yet there's been resistance throughout our history, unless we needed cheap labor to build the Transcontinental Railroad when we invited Chinese workers to come in. We treated them, unfortunately, in an inhumane fashion and didn't give them largely eligibility to become citizens. But we needed the labor, we needed the workers. It's happened many times before. What troubles me about the debate now about the southern border is it is one half of the immigration equation. Yes, we need order at the border. Yes, we need to have changes in the laws that reflect the reality of the overwhelming numbers from all over the world who are coming to our shores and our border. But there's also an incredible demand for legal immigration into this country even now. The presiding officer, my colleague from the state of Illinois, has legislation which addresses one aspect of that. Her bill, and I hope I describe it accurately, says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States. Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force? They can't reach their quotas each month. They can't find enough people to join our military forces. And there are those who are undocumented who want the chance to serve and risk their lives for this country. Should we give them a chance? I think we should.
Family, somebody say what? That's one of them ones where when you watch and hear something, you can't be talking about, what did he say? You can't say in a calm voice, I can't believe he said that. You can't say, did he really just say what I think he just said? No, you gotta say what? Dick Durbin, forgive me. I'm gonna go back later. I gotta run some errands after this, family. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna hear from some of y'all. So I'll be able to look at some of the stuff that you say. I want y'all to tell me, please, somebody put it in the chat. Is Dick Durbin a senator from Illinois? The same state that Chicago, the city of Chicago is in? This clip that you just saw him say, that you just saw, that brief clip, where he is in Congress on the congressional floor, conflating legal immigration with illegal immigration, acknowledging, well, yeah, we do need to deal with legal immigration, but at the same time, yeah, we need order at the border. But. Do you see what I mean when I told y'all, when I tell you all that there are multiple different motives for why they are intentionally allowing these criminals to come here? Do you hear what he just admitted there? The United States of America is the world's #1 empire. When you are conducting an unjust empire where you're stealing people's resources and exploiting them, you have to have soldiers to enforce your theft and your mass murder. What did I say right there? Let me hit the gavel on that. Mm-hmm. How many of you all know you've got to have soldiers, global police, the bullies with weapons, to make sure that you don't get out of line? Why do you think the United States of America has just under 1,000 bases and installations around the world? We're not exporters of goods and services like China and other countries. Our #1 export is war and weapons. We don't export stuff made in America back in the day like we used to. And he just told you one of the agendas that they want to expedite. The reason, one of the main agendas for expediting illegal immigrants and allowing them to come unchecked is so they can turn around as a lawmaker and make it legal so that they can use them for the military. Why? Because America, her ability to recruit and to maintain her quotas for soldiers is down. It's low. That's a different story. How many of y'all know a lot of folks are sick?
Right.
Too many people are older, and they don't have the prestige of the military like they used to anymore to recruit back in the day, like they did back in the day. Watch this. Dick Durbin, who's your lawmaker, who is supposed to uphold the laws that are on the book, is shrugging his shoulders at it. Do you all understand that when he's sitting there saying, we're going to give them full membership, citizenship? How many of y'all know that with the military comes grants for college? How many of y'all know benefits for families come through that? How many know you're going to be taken care of healthcare wise? And how many of you all know that it's all kind of other, what they call pork, that's likely going to be in those immigration bills? How many of y'all know that pork in America, the United States, that's an actual legal term? That means when they throw in extra stuff that ain't really got nothing to do with the original intent of a bill. When you see certain senators and Congress people, when they sign on to something, and if they only need one or two other senators, and that senator know if they hold out, that the whole bill won't go through, so they'll tell them, hey, add this $500,000 so that I can take this back to people in my county that make them look good, keep them in office. So if they tuck that in, they tuck it in under a different name. Talk black to me, somebody. How many of y'all know it's gonna be all kind of pork in them immigration bills? And you heard it straight from the floor of a long-serving, high-ranking Dick Durbin out of Illinois. And do you all understand that when they do that, they're trying? That's another effort of them clearing the illegal status of the migrants that came here and violate the law, that are criminals? How come Dick Durbin ain't on the floor saying, let's make all petty, non-violent crimes of foundational Black Americans, let's clear their records to make it easier for them to get government, to get jobs and insurance and housing and all that stuff? Do you all understand what's going on? You can imagine how part 2 gonna be. I'm done. I am not gonna pull out another article. I'm not gonna pull out no books. I'm not gonna give you any other constitutional or legal references. Let the video footage that you just saw today speak for itself. And stay tuned for my upcoming video. When I say this part 2, y'all better not miss it, because y'all gonna be screaming and hollering when you see the footage that we have and who we gonna connect. That that you just saw, that I just told you is from Revco, baby, he got a history. And our people on the ground got the receipts to prove it. The Democrats allowed this infiltrator in to that meeting where you saw an overwhelming number of packed house. Were y'all watching? Were y'all looking at footage from a club? Were you looking at footage from a movie? That is deep political engagement by Black Americans, and they don't like it, which is why I did multiple broadcasts showing how the Democrats tried to punish them for being politically involved. And so when that didn't work, they bring in an infiltrator. Who is they? You gotta wait until I announce what I'm doing part 2. My name is Vicky Diller, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go to my website and check out my products and services at VickyPlanet.com. That's VickyPlanet.com. Don't miss Brother Phil's live.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora.
All right. Yeah, that agent got exposed with the quickness. We got to keep exposing these agents like this. Like, dude, trying to have us cape for these goddamn illegal immigrants. Fuck out of here. So then we got FBAs say migrants and public officials help Mexican cartels fund local LA businesses. Wow. Vicky's gonna give us an update on this too.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. That way others will know that we're here. For that, we say thank you so very much, family. I have got to say, I have been receiving just unbelievable amounts of response and feedback from some of you that watched my video here some days back about former LA Crip, Big U, revealing some connections, whether he intentionally or unintentionally did it during an interview that he did with Willie D, showing some connections between Mexican cartels, and I connected it to a larger geopolitical situation involving even Donald Trump and the current tax tariff schemes against Mexico. And all of it ain't bad against Mexico. A lot of it has to do with nefarious intentions that the United States has by labeling even some of the cartel folks there as terrorists. Yes, how many of y'all know that that's terrible, that's horrible, that's bad? But we cannot deny the connection between the United States and some of the actors involved in that. What do I mean? I discussed right here on this network sometime back, a couple of years plus ago. It's been some time back. At least 18 gangs that have existed inside of the LA Sheriff's Department or any related law enforcement departments. I didn't say street gangs. I said police gangs. Okay? Did you hear what I said right there? Well, after my broadcast, some of you all started to tell me that some of the, of course, my sources are anonymous. I'm going to always protect my sources. But some of you all told me in different communication transmissions that you all were told from local street dealers and other such individuals that the cartels were funding businesses there. And so one of my sources, I told him, I said, brother, I'm gonna protect you. So even though you're coming forward, of course, this was anonymous. Of course, I'm not going to reveal you, but I need something concrete to show that, because a lot of the stuff that he shared with me, I don't want to say names. And to me, what he said is extremely credible with other sources, but I want to keep my sources covered. So I instead found some evidence even in LA court documents or law enforcement documents. Yes. And one of the ones here is from the FBI that's connected to something else. Like, we all know that the feds lie, but when it comes down to larger schemes of stuff, you have to go through it yourself and realize who's the target and what's what and what's true and what's not. So I want you all to see this particular headline, keeping that in mind. Y'all know I'm gonna do my due diligence. I know about the powers that shouldn't be and how they lie, but this is credible. I'm gonna give you another source in proving what I'm trying to say here. This one is actually from some time back, all the way from 2009. I'm gonna talk about one that's a little more recent, but even that one is from some years back. I'm just showing you some connections because I'm showing credibility to some of the direct sources that I have, and I want to keep them protected. But I found this interesting. Look at this. Straight from federal document website from the FBI. Owner of Numero Uno Markets convicted of federal racketeering charges after jury finds he solicited murder and bribed public officials. Did y'all hear some of the actors involved there? Bribing public officials. Y'all listen. That ain't it. It says here that the owner of Los Angeles-based Numero Uno supermarket chain was convicted today of participating in a racketeering enterprise that was involved in a host of illegal activities, including solicitation of murder, robbery of public official, pay attention to that, harboring illegal aliens, and tax violations. George Torres, 52, an Arcadia resident who had been in custody since he was arrested after being indicted 2 years ago, was found guilty of 55 felony counts, including racketeering, honest services, fraud, mail fraud, wire fraud, conspiring to harbor illegal aliens, and a host of tax charges. Family, I want you to keep in mind now the context of me getting this information from an anonymous source from the streets there in LA had to do with the fact that we were connecting the dots between illegal migrants and cartels and nefarious American government actors and entities involved in geopolitical schemes, even on a local level. So the point that some of them were making to me is that some of these illegals were very likely not only operating some of these these businesses to harbor some of the cartel money, but this was stuff that was known, and this involved government officials. Y'all listen, public officials. It goes on to talk about other violations, but it says here that some of the evidence presented at trial showed that Torres operated his business, Numero Uno Markets, as a corrupt organization for nearly 3 decades. That's longer than some of my viewers been alive. 30 years, family. Are y'all listening? It says that he used the assistance of a public officials to attempt to obtain valuable licenses and permits for Torres's business in return for a stream of benefits that included lavish gifts. So you gotta watch the gift giving. Hint, hint. Y'all's Mayor Brandon Johnston recently. That's a different story. Let me get back to LA. Talk black to me somebody. That's Chicago. Get back to LA, Vicky. It says Torres, whose empire included 11 supermarkets in the greater Los Angeles area, used the markets to facilitate fraud and tax violations. It says that the United States Marshal Service seized his numero uno supermarkets and other assets owned by Torres. It says that the government is seeking to forfeit the assets, right? It goes on to talk about the investigation that has to do with high-intensity drug trafficking area task force. It talks about the Drug Enforcement Administration that's involved in it. It talks about, y'all ready for this? U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Who is that, family? ICE. That's the enforcement agencies that have to do overwhelming with a lot of illegal alien activities. Of course, we already referenced the fact that was official. They were working together. But again, the context of that, also this has to do, let me say this too, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Baldwin Park Police Department, the Azusa Police Department, the Bell Police Department, the Bell Gardens Police Department, the United States Marshal Service, the California Department of Justice Bureau of Narcotics and Enforcement. Child, that's too much. How many of y'all know that smells suspect? How many of y'all know that when FBAs on the street tells you that there's some shady stuff going on that's involving illegal migrants, illegal aliens, and involving government officials that's connected to cartels and stuff? Talk black to me, somebody. We know what it is. This other article I want you to see right here directly from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This is an article from ICE. So y'all listening? What does it say? This one is actually from 2014, because again, I'm covering from my sources, but I'm giving you legitimate evidence that there's something to this. It says large-scale law enforcement efforts targets downtown Los Angeles business linked to money laundering for drug cartels. I won't get into great details about that, family, but it's really interesting because it talks about what it's called BMPE, which says they use what's known as the black market peso exchange schemes to launder narcotics proceeds for international drug cartels. It has a lot of juicy information, family, about that. And it says in this particular instance that it involved an estimated $65 million in cash and bank deposits, family. And so, again, my sources there were telling me that the local, some of my street dealers, we're just going to say that, FBA street dealers, made it real clear, beloved, that that the cartels is involved in this, but also, as I just mentioned before, government officials. So I'm trying to tell you it's something to it when they're trying to tell you that it's all just about the Mexican cartels. I'm trying to tell you that your local police department and stuff is using them as a cover and working together with the black market. Talk black to me. I can't wait to hear what y'all have to say about it. My name is Vicky Diller, beloved. Be sure to check out my upcoming free webinar where I'm going to expose black magicians that the U.S. government has brought on military bases in order for them to conduct modern warfare. You heard me right. You don't want to miss that. It's a free webinar, Saturday, April 5th. You don't want to miss it. Go to VickyPlanet.com. That's my website, VickyPlanet.com. Share this broadcast. I can't wait.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Peace, family. My name is Vicky Diller for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you come in, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and tell everybody you know your sister with the curly braids is on. Thank you so very much, family. I had the high honor of recently doing an exclusive interview with the wonderful and glorious activist on the ground, Miss Jessica Jackson. Of course, there are many that are on the ground, a good strong handful of those that are on the ground in Chicago in particular, just calling out the Democrat Party, calling out massive injustices that have both national and international implications. Yes. Well, one of those activists, again, is Miss Jessica Jackson. I got an exclusive interview with her recently on my channel at VickyDiller.tv. I'm going to be talking more about that as the day goes on. This is a part of her work, which I've done many broadcasts on her before, not just me, but others, of course. I want you all to see during one of the city council meetings not too long ago, this image was captured of an illegal migrant that was attending this hearing, and how one of our FBAs, by the way, family, stands for Foundational Black Americans. It is not a group. It's not an organization that you can have a president or treasurer or take minutes on. FBA represents a lineage here. Those of us that are responsible for the creation of the United States and who are due reparations. That's what that's about. Yes? So family, I want you to watch this clip.
Huh? Yeah, excuse me. Somebody said, she's sitting right here. That's her seat, either seat. Yes, that's her seat. She's handicapped. She went to the bathroom. No, you 20 minutes. No, she's getting ready to come right now. I'm leaving in 20 minutes. And no, she's gonna be here. No, it ain't okay. You have to get up out of her seat. She's a handicapped woman. Her chair's right there. She's getting ready to come, so 20 minutes is too long. Sorry. Yeah. It's not. Yeah, I'm not finna go. Yeah, you got to get up out of her seat. Hey, that's either seat she's sitting in. If you see, she got her wheelchair and stuff right there. Yeah, get up. Okay.
But the lady is sitting here right now.
I know. I understand.
We have to sit down there.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. These people, no respect.
Do you see the blinkage? Do you see my eyes twitching and stuff? Family. Now you may ask yourself, why talk about this, Vicky? I'm trying to show you just how disrespectful and outrageous this immigration issue has gotten. I want you all to understand that the Democrat Party, even some members of the Republican Party and some of the folks, the powers that shouldn't be, they intentionally conflate legal immigration with illegal immigration. Where is my gavel? Talk black to me, family. How many of y'all know we hold court here? There is a difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration. Say it with me, class. There is a difference between legal and illegal immigration. They want us to intentionally conflate both of them so that they can do everything that they want to do with these different foreigners that's coming into this country so they can perpetuate the multiple agendas that the powers that shouldn't be want to enact. There is a difference. They're intentionally conflating them so that they can have new allies and new soldiers. As the Europeans and America's numbers continue to dwindle, and they fear becoming the minority sooner rather than later in terms of controlling the levers of power here, as Joe Biden admitted recently. Do y'all understand that? So the moment you all started talking about immigration, baby, we talking about illegal immigration. You remember, you're supposed to be against that, because that's a crime. When you commit a crime, they call you a criminal. They don't come up with new and juicy and fluffy and sweet and precious and cute, cuddly names for us when there's a crime committed. You understand? There's a difference between the two. Now, in this instance, I want to remind us that this was a hearing, a city council hearing, and the disrespect that foundational Black Americans are dealing with on a day-to-day basis amongst those that have committed crimes, and they don't fear being arrested because they show up to meetings like this. How many of y'all saw the video that we did and watched the follow-up video where we're going to talk about it even more, where this illegal migrant was sitting there loud during one of the hearings, wasn't fearing that the politicians would arrest him, wasn't fearing ICE was going to come get him, screaming and hollering at us, calling us lazy and stuff, and saying no more money for you. This is real. Don't jump to me talking about helping those that do jobs that other folks don't, other folks in America don't want to do, which is a lie. I don't want to hear that mess. I need you to talk about why y'all feel so comfortable dogging and disrespecting Black Americans. In this case, a disabled foundational Black American. illegal, you're twitching, twirling, and you're attending meetings. Public meetings with no fear that anybody's going to arrest you, and then you turn around and steal a chair that belonged to a handicapped Black woman. This is outrageous. And the agenda is clear and it's intentional. We're going to call it out. And we're spending all kinds of money for it. How do we know? I'm reading from an article right now to remind you. I remember several of these so-called sanctuary city mayors, including one of the mayors out here in Colorado, which is about 45 minutes from where I'm from in the Denver Metroplex area. I don't live in Denver. I do a lot of business in Denver, but about 45 minutes or so away from where I'm from, one of the mayors here had to come to that very congressional hearing because they found out that some of these sanctuary city mayors are under investigation. One of those mayors is who? Brandon Johnston. Remember during that meeting? I'm reading from this headline here from ABC that says that Chicago mayor defends spending on migrant crisis during Capitol Hill meeting. Remember, he acted like he couldn't answer the question. He was asked about it. And it says here, quote, "You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own growth, and their own public safety?" Pennsylvania Republican Representative Scott Perry was asked. That was one of the ones that was there also. The people of Chicago, quote, y'all listen, "The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago," Mayor Johnston replied. Okay, this is, remember I told you several of them. That's Mayor Johnston, now Chicago mayor running his mouth. Watch this. However, the article says that service comes with a cost. According to data obtained from ABC7 team, since September 2022, the city has paid out $638.7 million in vendor contracts for the new arrivals. Quote, Mayor Johnston, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens? North Carolina Republican Virginia Fox Act. Since 2022, since the governor of Texas was shipping individuals to cities across the country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years, Mayor Johnston replied. Family, it goes on and on talking about how the 1% comes out to about $625 million over the past 4 years. But according to those vendor payments, the real numbers are even higher, which I know they're higher. I've discussed it on multiple broadcasts on it. They also don't include other bureaucracies, agencies, and entities that directly deal with the housing and with the care and with the maintenance of illegal aliens and stuff. Talk back to me, somebody. I brought that up because we're paying all this money to be directly disrespected from illegal immigrants. And there is a difference. And we're saying, how dare you? And even though we know you're lying about the numbers, as this article even implies and says, that $625 million would be a hell of a down payment for those that are Black Americans in Chicago. And we're demanding those resources be redirected to those to who it truly belongs, by people there in that city. And we're not going to stop, and we're going to keep covering it, and we're going to continue to show you the nonstop disrespect and demand changes in this country. My name is Vicky Diller, beloved. I have an upcoming free webinar on Saturday, April 5th. I don't want you to miss it, beloved. Again, it's free. I'm going to be exposing. Are you ready for this? Did you all know that your U.S. government has a history of having certain covens? Yes, covens, actual seances on their military bases. I'm going to tell you what that's all about and why. How many of you all know that there's a spiritual war over your head? So when you see stuff play out in the natural, there's also something spiritually going on. I'm a master at revealing exactly what that is and what you can do about it. You don't want to miss this free webinar. Go to my website at VickyPlanet.com to save your seat today. Go to VickyPlanet.com. Share the broadcast here